Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Friday. I can't believe we've almost made it a week here without having Carlos heading this up. And we survived so far. Hopefully you guys are doing okay out there. And look, I've got John back with me today. So life is good on the ranch. John, how are you doing today? How was your night last night? Do anything fun?
Oh God, I watched some old episodes of Silicon Valley. That's it.
Okay. All right. I don't think I've ever watched that show. Well, I'll have to put that on the
Peter,
list.
you would love it the most. I know I've tried to recommend things to you in the past, but I'm
Yeah.
sure on this one it's a solid gold hit. Like you would die laughing if you saw this show, especially with your CEO background. It's so fun.
I know I referenced some quotes from it, like the one time where he's like, "No revenue, that comes from that show, right?" I'm
Right.
pretty
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. No, right. What are
Yeah,
you
yeah.
doing? Then people have expectations. We don't want any revenue. Or then I know there's another scene where he's like, "Yeah, I'm broke because I'm not a billionaire anymore. I'm only a 900 millionaire," or something like that.
Yeah,
Anyways.
yeah. He loses his third comma. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right. Anyways, guys, I hope you're doing well. We didn't have a great trading day yesterday. It was the markets were not really giving us many opportunities. I, in fact, was sitting here all day trading. My first and only trade of the day happened at 10 minutes to the close. My signature 1 to 10 trade. I really saw no opportunity until then. You guys, when you were with us live, you saw John make a couple of stabs at it. Nothing was really cooperating properly the way it should. But I think you got some opportunities a little bit later in the day, didn't you?
I did. I got thumped in the end, so it was good to be live on YouTube, losing some money in front of everybody. But yeah, they did. They were okay setups. They weren't bad. They just one of them really. It was PLTR. Once that got up to its high of day, it did it twice. It pulled back violently. So
Right.
um, that was hard to see, even with PLTR being a little bit in play lately. I wasn't expecting it to drop. What was it? $2 in 8 seconds or something. It was crazy. I don't know.
Oh,
But
I remember that. Yeah,
it's a good.
you got hit with that.
Yeah, it's a lesson to get out though, because like you said, it could have been I mean, seconds later, it could have been 4 times as big a loss. It was crazy,
It
you know.
was it
So
was right here. It
you
was
just
this big drop. I remember you were taking this high of day
yeah,
break, and then it just dumped on you. So in any event.
those are the two candles. Yes, I recognize them well. Yeah, I think
I
I might have
recognize
had.
those candles of pain. All right, guys. Well, let's talk about what's happening today. It's interesting. There's really only two things I can mark for you on the economic calendar, John. Maybe you can let us know because it's two dudes speaking against to each other. I don't know.
You know, when you said you had two things, and I was like, I bet he doesn't have the Trump thing, but you do. That's the second thing you've got. So you've got it right. Yeah, it's Powell, Jay Powell. The printer man himself speaks at 10 o'clock from Jackson Hole. This is his last Jackson Hole speech, unless something crazy changes in the world. And it'll be interesting because I feel like just in the past 48 hours, the chance of a rate cut has gone from very high, if not close to 100, to much less. I don't know that based on the data, but just the vibe. So that'll be interesting. Jerome might have a little extra ammo in his magazine to say some stuff if he feels like he's got a little bit of wiggle room there. And then Trump's has a mystery announcement at noon. So those are always fun. That could be anything from the end of the war in Ukraine to a new Trump T-shirt coming out. So we'll see which one it is.
Well, to your point on the data, if we take a look at what the analysts are saying, it's actually moving to 71% of analysts now think that we're going to get a quarter point cut. And 28, you can see here, 0.7% think that there's going to be no rate cut. And that has changed. If I look at the data, just a day ago, it was 75% thought that there was going to be a quarter point. And then a week ago, 85% thought there was going to be a quarter point cut. So, yes, more people are now moving to no rate cut. Still the predominance sitting at the quarter point. But it's by no means a slam dunk. And I don't Powell's been pretty good recently about not giving any hints as to what he's thinking. I mean, that rate cut is not scheduled until the 17th. Well, sorry, I shouldn't say rate cut. That rate announcement is not scheduled until September the 17th. So, whatever he decides to do, we still have a good 2.5 weeks until that happens, almost 3 weeks. So, yeah, he's unlikely to give a lot of hints. Probably will stick to the script that he's been giving over a long period of time. But we'll see. I mean, again, like we mentioned before, guys, that dissent that was publicly announced, meaning that not everybody voted for holding the rates where they were at. Two notable votes that wanted to have it publicly acknowledged that they voted for a cut and were overruled, was a little bit of a rarity. So we'll see what happens. This speech from Powell at Jackson Hole could be quite influential, and the markets could truly react very heavily to it, depending on what he says. So, yeah, be aware if you're trading the morning, that 10 a.m. Now, again, it all depends on exactly what time. Does it go to schedule, or are they a little late? Usually, these things are structured so that there is an initial prepared comments that are made, then you go to the Q&A. The Q&A is usually more revealing than the prepared comments, and I don't know. Does anybody out there know? Maybe can help us out. Does Jackson Hole comments, are they 2 minutes long or 20 minutes long? I really don't know. My guess, it's probably closer to 2 than 20, but I really have no idea. So we'll see. But just be aware, if you're in a trade in and around 10 a.m., the markets could start to act a little squirrely, and that could help you, could move things in your favor, or could smash them against you. So just be aware of that.
What does the stage look like? Does he present comments at a podium, and then is he invited to a chair to sit with a moderator, or is it podium throughout, or is it chair throughout?
It's a good question. I don't remember what this one looks like. I just assumed that there was a podium. I don't know. He might even get up there with a panel because they do bring in a lot of economic minds to speak. So I'm not sure. I honestly am not sure. But well, let's see if we can look that up while we're doing this show here this morning. I'll see if I can find
hugely
something.
important. The whole chair situation.
The structure.
That's a big.
Find out about the chair. All right, we'll see what's happened in the past. Let's take a look at the gappers list. Guys, pretty light today. We only have a few things gapping up, but it's actually good to see things gapping higher. This week has been all about gapping down, it seems like, every single day and every single morning. Today, finally, we've got markets that are actually pushing a little bit higher pre-market. Again, not always indicative of where things are going to go once that opening bell rings, but still good to see the overall markets in the green. So let's get right to this. Only a couple things here to take a look at. We do have some earnings that happened both last night and one this morning that we can talk about, because it doesn't look like any of them are on our list. But let's start with what is on our list with BHVN. This BHVN is Biohaven. It has been on our list in the past. Usually, I don't know, they got some drug that's going well. What's happening with Biohaven, John?
I hesitate to read this because I feel like we're going to lose 25% of our YouTube audience, but let me give it a try. So this company, Biohaven, has provided an update with respect to its new drug application called an NDA. That's not a non-disclosure thing. That's a new drug application. The drug is called troriluzole. It's for the treatment of adults with spinocerebellar ataxia. And the FDA Neurology Division extended. What? You know what? Don't worry about it, Peter. It's some drug news. I don't know. I don't know what this is.
Confusing to hear.
They informed the company they're extending their Prescription Drug User-Free Act, or PDUFA, PDUFA, date for that drug, which I won't read again. That drug's NDA by 3 months to provide time for a full review of the company's recent submission of blah, blah, blah. I don't know. It's, okay. You know how it goes. Every morning there's one of these.
All right. Well, being that they're trading under 1 million shares, sitting at 875 right now, if I look at the price action minute by minute, you can see there's a lot of minutes where no shares are even trading. So it doesn't look very actively in play. Don't love the look of it. It's got a lot of room to go up if this news was really good. Look at this. it's really sort of taken a beating early in the year, and then it's just been hanging out here around the $15 mark for the last 3 months. So certainly it would be interesting if this thing decides to make a run up for 40. Doesn't quite feel like it though. So let's move
The
on.
one thing, the
PDD.
one thing I
Sorry.
like about that though, Peter, I like, every industry has its acronyms, right? I'm sure you had a
Yeah.
bunch of acronyms when you worked in,
Oh
in
yeah.
your life, and as did I. And I like that there's an acronym, PDUFA for Prescription Drug User Free Act. And I like to think that when they're in meetings together, that people say PDUFA and it just rolls off their tongue like it's a normal thing. Where's that PDUFA?
Every industry, you're right, has acronyms that, if you're in the industry, you don't even think about it. You just use them and they feel natural. But yes, from the outside, you're like, what are you guys talking about? You sound like idiots. Anyways, all right. Well, hopefully they can Padoofa away over there. All right,
Yeah,
let's move to the next thing on our Gappers list, which is PDD. This is one that we haven't seen in quite a while. Pin Duo, one of my favorite. They're just called PDD Holdings now, but uh, only trading 500,000 shares. They're up 3.8%. On the daily, they sort of look interesting. They're heading back towards these highs that they'd set earlier in the year. But oh yeah, and they got even more room to go higher. I can see here, but the price action today doesn't look great. Why are they even on our list, John?
I'm going to check one more time to see if there's been an update. I didn't see any particular news. If you remember, this was on our list yesterday and we didn't find any news either. They got earnings next week. That shouldn't be moving them 4% here this morning necessarily. The only thing that's even related is something about Baba uh, being much more optimistic about AI margins. I don't know how that could affect PDD. I mean, I know these things all kind of move together. And in the sort of unofficial sector of Chinese stocks of Baba and PDD and Baidu and JD, Baba is often the catalyst to move the other ones, or used to be anyway. I haven't watched these in a while, but I don't. But then again, Baba's
Yeah,
not up that much. I don't know. I don't know why it's moving.
no. All right, yeah, I see the same. Not really a lot of news going on here, so yeah, I don't really know. Okay, well, we're both stumped, which means probably it's not something we want to look at. This thing keeps showing up on our list, whether it's the Gappers up or the Gappers down. SBET, SharpLink Gaming, they made that switch a while back to become Ethereum, an Ether treasury. I think they were the Ether treasury,
Yep.
but they keep jumping up here. I've got to admit I've never watched the stock. I don't know if anybody out there is actively trading it, but it's up another 3.7% today on 2.2 million shares. Is it anything new or more of the same, John?
They announced a stock buyback,
Oh,
1.5 billion. So
oh,
there
okay.
is something there.
They're feeling flush with cash. Decided to spend it on themselves. All right.
I guess so.
Well, if I look at the prices this morning, let's see, where are we at? Price of Ether, $4,240 right now, which is a little down overnight. It had hit a high of about 43.50, so marginally down. Not all that exciting. Not much happening. It is down from the highs where it had peaked around $4,800. So, all right. Well, anyways, SBET not making my list. If any of you guys like it, then by all means, it's yours for the taking. Last on our Gappers list here. Whoops, wrong screen. Last on our Gappers list for this morning. Gappers up or down, incidentally, is Novo Nordisk (NVO). It it just jumps up here every once in a while. 950,000 shares, so it's not bad. Pre-market price action looks a little spotty to me. Doesn't look fantastic, John. What are you seeing?
Yeah, there's nothing I saw for NVO, but well, hold on one second. No, no, I don't think there's anything particularly newsworthy. Nope.
Okay.
I thought this had a different ticker though. I thought this had a four-letter ticker. Am I wrong about that? Has it always been
No,
NVO for Novo Nordisk?
I think so.
Uh,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm having one of those Mandela moments, I guess.
Right. Uh, Yeah, and I'm sorry, just looking at the comments here, people are talking about, yeah, every once in a while the audio cracks up. I'm not sure if it's because my PC is chugging hard here at capacity. I'm not sure if you can hear it, but the fan keeps going crazy because it's trying to keep itself from its,
I heard
keep
the
its
fan come
brain.
on when we started the show. It sounded good.
Yeah, it's trying to
The
keep its
jet engine.
brain from melting. But,
I think it. I think it's on your end because
okay,
well, to this point, I've never had an audio clipping problem. So, well,
yeah.
we'll see if we can just get through
It,
this.
it It probably is because I said my computer goes from 60% total capacity to 99 in a heartbeat here when you run this streaming software. So, in any event, we're working at what we can. I do like NVO here just on the gap. Look at this. There's this big gap that was set back in July, and we're just now pushing a little bit higher into the bottom range of it. You can see where we're sort of at the price that we had set back in April. And if it decides to go higher, there's a lot of room to move up because really the next port of call, I would say here is around $64, and then to fill this full gap, we'd have to go all the way up to 68.50. So I know I'm setting levels in advance of, our official level setting. Oh, speaking of which, see, like every day, there's something that I forget that I'm supposed to be doing, and today it was I gotta get our let's bring in our watch list. We got yesterday's watch list here, and we got to clear that off. Maybe on the secondary here, I will put Novo Nordisk, and we'll just see what it's doing, and we'll see what else we can pop onto the list. You know what? I'm gonna keep these guys because I always watch these four. I'm gonna keep them on the primary for now. So, all right, guys. Well, like I mentioned, we really have nothing else gapping either way. Let me bring in a couple of earnings that I was watching. We were watching some earnings last night after hours after the closing bell. Jared and I sort of stayed late to take a look at these. Starting with Ross Stores. Now, most of these are not. You're not going to see a lot of volume pre-market. That's what we were noticing even through earnings last night. There wasn't a lot of volume, but I'll mention them to you just in case you have an interest. We'll just take a look and see what they did overnight because you can see that there was some interesting movement. Ross Stores, for example, up and down. Surprised to see it gapping higher because it was sort of looking like it was going to end up lower. I'm not sure if you want to cover this, John, because I'm catching you by surprise on all of these, but I know that they missed revenue, they beat on earnings, and they actually raised their full guidance for the year. But that guidance is still below what the analysts were expecting. Normally, that's a recipe for dragging a stock down, but maybe the analysts are giving them a break and are going to revise their estimates lower now that Ross Stores has increased their guidance a little bit here. But they're gapping up if you like that. Only 25,000 shares traded, though. Pretty low. The other one we were looking at was Zoom, ZM. So Zoom here. Not looking quite as healthy, but still gapping higher. You can see that it had moved up and has held this level overnight. They beat their numbers on earnings and raised their guidance. So that's them. The other one we were taking a look at was there was two more here last night that we're looking at. INTU. These guys didn't have quite such well. They had a similar story. They did have a rosy story. They actually beat their numbers as well and raised their guidance, but they're not. Analysts aren't buying it. They're actually gapping down here a little bit this morning, so that's pushing them lower. And the last one we were looking at was Workday, W Day, and you can see they initially tried to make a run higher and then dropped lower because they beat their numbers, which is what pushed them up on the initial pop there. But then they subsequently announced that they were lowering their Q3 and full year guidance. At the same time, they took the opportunity to announce that they were acquiring a company called Paradox. And usually, when you buy another company, that's a drag on your stock price in the short term. Because analysts are always concerned about how that's a drag on management attention, on your ability to integrate, and of course, are you paying a fair price for that acquisition? So those are the four ones we were watching last night. The only other one that we were taking a look at last night, just because it was doing crazy stuff, was this AZTR that had popped up after earnings, and they did a reverse split. They did this funny. John, this might amuse you. I don't know. It amused me, anyways. They did what officially was a 3 for 20 reverse split, which the headline that I read said they are doing a 1 for 6.66 share reverse split. So they're like, screw your superstition. We're going with the 666 number. And they as a company couched it as a 3 for 20, but they were not fooling anybody. The very first headline was 1 for 6.66 reverse share split. I just thought that was amusing.
That's interesting. Is there sort of an arbitrage in there where you sort of get chunks of mystical shares? I had like
Mystical shares. I don't know. I've never seen
that's
this.
weird
Never seen
because
a company even attempt this before.
you're giving people partial shares. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Never heard of that.
So, yeah, it's a little bit of a weird structure. You got to think they did it on purpose. Like, why would you do a 3 for 20? Like, especially when your stock was trading at like 90 cents. And now, of course, it's not even. It was trading lower than that previously. So, I don't know. It feels like a weird thing to have done. And clearly, it's. Anyways, it was just a weird thing. So when we were looking at it, it had a ton of volume after hours last night. 11 million shares, so officially traded so far this morning, but you can see a lot of that was sort of in the overnight hours. So I don't know what to expect of it. If you like low floats, we just thought maybe this is one to take a look at. It is hard to borrow, so you can only trade it to the long side this morning. At least I can on Interactive Brokers. And it is traded on the American Stock Exchange, which means usually you're going to pay slightly higher fees.
I feel like this is
But
going to this is going to give Elon an idea. Like Tesla could do a split to come up with a ratio of like 420 in the end. I think
for
that'd be very attractive to him. Like
yeah,
if you divide,
a 4.2 to 1 or something maybe. He could
yeah,
do.
yeah, yeah.
Sure, why not? Yeah, you know what? He could. He loves playing with that stuff. So
This could bring all
yeah,
kinds of fun games into the world of stock splitting. I've never thought of doing this.
maybe so. The only thing I was looking at earnings from this morning, we did have earnings on BJ Wholesale, competitor to Costco that I don't have here in Canada. I've seen them just driving in the U.S. Bigger company than I had thought. Are they just like a Costco? Have you ever been to one? You must have been to one, John.
I joined one when I moved here 6 years ago, and then a few years ago we changed to Costco. My take was same store, kind of, big packages of things. Costco's got better food options though. When you go to the back of the store, the pre-made dinners and things like that, much better selection at Costco. So I would take Costco over BJ's any day.
Okay, well,
BJ's has the good gas though. Like I think Costco sells gas too, but BJ's is well known for selling cheap gas. Like they have their own gas stations as well.
okay.
So that's a draw for that particular store.
Well, maybe others agree with your recommendation because they missed on their revenue numbers in this quarter, but they did beat bottom line earnings. So I guess they were buying the gas even cheaper to be able to sell it to people. So, but there you go, BJ Wholesale. That's not one that typically trades well. Or a lot of volume. Their average daily volume is only about 2 million shares, and pre-market they're only sitting on about 150,000 exchange that have changed hands so far. So yeah, pretty late. So that's what I've got for earnings. I've exhausted the list of stuff I'm watching, other than the standards. Right, we've obviously got the Magnificent Seven always, and then PLTR that we like or like to hate. You're not alone in sort of having a love-hate relationship, John, with PLTR, because Carlos, he it's one of his love to hate stocks because it treated him really well for a while. Then he was not getting some good trades on it. Then he loved it again. It's a tough one. I'll admit it is tough.
It's funny watching all of us go through our relationships with stock. You've obviously had a torrid affair with AMD for a long time, and that's kind of cool. You're both getting on in your lives and perhaps drifting apart. Uh, Brian with Tesla every morning. I mean, I don't think he wants to admit how much of a love affair he has with that company, but long
Yeah.
or short, Brian is just there for Tesla every morning, and yeah, and Carlos with PLTR.
I mean, heck, my biggest trade of the last couple of weeks was live with you guys. I think it was Tuesday morning on PLTR. Where I got to take it short. So yeah, it's treated me well. I'm liking it, but I've stayed away from it. Admittedly, I haven't traded it the last couple of days because I just have not liked what it's been doing. So we'll see. Or at least was it just yesterday? Yeah, yesterday it. Yeah, it was a couple of days ago. It was definitely on Tuesday when I traded it. Then it was good on Tuesday. Yesterday, look at that. Look at the difference, right? How it's just was dead flat yesterday. Pretty ugly. So compared to the previous 2 days. So boy, I'm glad I wasn't in that. That would have been horrible. Oh, sorry, John.
You know
Anyways,
what stock we didn't talk about, Peter, is Nvidia, which
yeah,
is
let's
not
get
on
to
the
those.
it's not on the gappers list,
Oh,
but it does have news. So if you remember,
okay.
let me take you back through the history here.
Mm,
Um, so yesterday the Chinese government encouraged, and when the Chinese government encourages things, it tends to be strong encouragement. They encouraged local companies to stop buying H20 chips, citing security concerns. So going back in April, the Trump administration banned H20 exports to China. Then in June, Trump reversed course on that after meeting with the CEO of NVIDIA, but no licenses were granted. So they hadn't really changed anything, just kind of drifting toward a new decision. Earlier this month, you remember that the administration confirmed NVIDIA and AMD could sell to China, but with a 15% kickback to the US government, I guess.
yep.
And now we're here today with the Chinese government saying, maybe don't buy those. So Nvidia is down 1.5%. AMD is down with it 1.3%. So there is some news there. So something to watch
It
for sure.
it seems interesting to me that the Chinese government that can certainly dictate whatever terms that they so choose is just taking the approach of strongly encouraging their companies not to buy them, but not just putting a ban on them. Why don't you just ban the import? So
Yeah,
clearly,
I'm if
to me, that would be a
if I'm a
signal that I suppose at this point they probably don't have an alternative if you really need that
if I'm a
performance.
Chinese company and the Chinese government strongly encourages me not to buy that, I'm probably gonna not buy them. So
Mm,
that could be a case of that's the language they want to use, but the outcome they want is no more buying these, right? They're gonna get
right.
it either way.
Yeah. Well, I yeah, we'll have to see. The other thing that they could be encouraging, perhaps, is that there has been rumor that they were working on developing like an alternate chip. Basically, it's another chip equivalent or better performance that would be specifically designed for use in the Chinese market that might help appease the Chinese government. Because, I mean, previously the Chinese government had said that they thought there were back doors built into this chip so that, things could be monitored. Um, I no idea, but
Well, here's
we'll see.
more news. Just put in the room by Tom H in the BBT chat room, and this is right from this morning, August 22nd. NVIDIA in talks with the U.S. to sell a more advanced chip to China. NVIDIA is in talks with the U.S. government about shipping a new chip that would be what was it called here? The B30A, which would be more advanced than the H20. So who knows? Who knows where this ends?
They keep developing more and more chips. I don't know. I mean, I guess that's how they got to be the biggest company the planet has ever seen. Nvidia's, they're always finding angles. So we'll see what happens. All right. So yeah, Nvidia. Well, Nvidia's always on the list. You guys know I've got it on my primary list. You mentioned Tesla. Tesla's another one for us to keep an eye on. Both of these have sort of slid downwards over the last couple of days. Well, they're not alone, right? I mean, if I look at AMD, also are down over the last few days, but AMD's been a little less interesting this week than it had been last week and the week before. So maybe it's just sliding into the background again as it had in the past. So, anyways, those are those four. I'm always keeping an eye on them because they're always top of my list. A quiet one that's been out there, just sort of holding its own and not doing much despite the ups and downs and other things, has been Apple. Apple has just been interesting for that fact. Not an interesting trader, to be honest. You can see it's pretty flat if you look at my 60-minute chart here over the last couple of weeks. But just interesting that's been holding there. And then Microsoft has come into play over the last couple of days, for me anyways. And it's on a downtrend like a lot of the other stuff we were looking at. But it's had some bigger moves, at least for Microsoft, bigger for Microsoft. So we'll see what happens with it. It was the one I was looking at yesterday in the close, but I ended up trading Tesla. So I said, got my one trade only 10 minutes into the close. Tesla treated me very nice as it made a downturn in the last couple of minutes. All right. Other than those, John, I know you've got your standard the dime a dozen that you look at. Anything out of that you should call out?
No, geez, let me look down here real quick. I don't think so. Here's my theory about today, Peter, and I think it's good for a trader to kind of have a theory about what kind of morning you're looking
Hmm.
to come upon shortly, but not to get too biased about it at the same time. But I think it's okay to kind of develop a vibe over time. Is it a very bullish day? Is it a very bearish day? Is it kind of flat? And where might it change? And I'm thinking up until 10 o'clock when Jerome talks, we might be looking at a choppy market because there's
Hmm.
not much going on. It's Friday. It's been low volume lately on the in the market, and so I think everyone's waiting for something to latch onto. So that's my guess, but who knows? We could open at 9:30, the market could rocket or sink like a stone. I have no idea, but we'll keep in mind because you remember yesterday we live traded together on
Yep.
YouTube, and you're both pretty patient. I eventually took a couple trades, but the market really throughout was very choppy, even when I took those trades, which was going, for the bullish breakout to the top side. And in retrospect, the market was kind of screaming, you know, wait, stay out. It's just kind of a choppy, low volume day. So I'm gonna keep that in mind again today and try to just execute the best patience I can and see if the market can reveal itself more obviously.
Yeah, and I realized that I haven't had the opportunity this whole week to sort of play our. Yesterday was one of those days that looked like this. Here, there, look at that. See this guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was one of those days. Oh, we don't need it twice. Okay. But anyways, yeah, I haven't put our garbage truck up there. Well, let's hope we don't have another one of those days. I think you're right, John. Really, if we take a look at the way the market's shaping up so far this morning. In fact, let's look at some overall indices here. If we look at the SPY, it's pretty slight in terms of its volume and direction. I said it's good to see it green, but we're green by 0.25%. Same thing on the Qs. We're green by 0.18%. So we're not really doing very much. And it would make sense, right? If you've got a lot of money on the line, you're probably not going to be moving it around in advance of understanding um, what Powell's going to say. And again, it feels a little strategic for President Trump to have a press conference after Powell speaks. So depending what he speaks, it may fire him up. And whatever he's planning to speak about may not be what he's actually going to speak about. Or maybe the whole plan is to just, give him the highlights of what Powell said and send him out there full of piss and vinegar and let him go. I have no idea. So, but we'll find out with these two speeches that are scheduled for today. So, yeah, it makes sense that it might be a little quiet until that happens. Look, we're still going to get volume at the open, but don't be surprised if we get a choppy open. I agree with you, John. I don't see anything that's really lining up that I'm saying, I got to get into this. Most things, even the stuff that had earnings, like I said, are at low volume, and the regular stuff that we watch, their volumes are much lower than usual. So, looking fairly quiet. Well, that being said, it is a Friday, which means we don't have as much as much stuff as we usually do happening in this community either, because we like to ease into the weekend. But John, why don't you tell us what? Let's get to that. What's happening in the community? If I can get this onto the screen here. Here we go. We only have one thing, and that's all about our boot camp prep meeting. So maybe you can give us some details on that.
Yeah, well, so we have a boot camp beginning early September. I keep forgetting the exact date, Peter, September 2nd or 5th or something like that. Uh, so that's when it'll officially kick off, but we do welcome in our boot campers early before it actually begins. Mike works with them, kind of preparing them to even begin. It's a little prep school for boot camp. So that'll be going on today. If you'd like to join this upcoming boot camp, we should have slots left. Mike's chiming in there right now today at noon Eastern for that meeting. Great opportunity. We always get good feedback, like really good feedback on these boot camps. We just finished up our 15th one, which is hard to believe, Peter, that we've been through 15
Yeah.
boot camps. But it's a really for what is offered out there in the world of trading. It's truly a unique experience to take part in this this opportunity. Boot camp is one of the things that makes it unique is everything is live. I think I talked about this yesterday, but every meeting is done through Google Meet. So everybody's there on camera, everyone's there on microphone. You really get to know each other well. I get to know the people, especially in my group, and Peter gets to know the people in his group. But the traders get to know each other. They develop really strong relationships. Every boot camp, there's groups of people that go off together, become trading partners well after boot camp is over. We're seeing that this time as well. In fact, Peter, you actually halfway through boot camp, somewhere around there, he'll kind of parse people into similar groups. You know, your ORB traders, your ABCD traders, your reversal traders, and you know, just like you learn here with Bearable Traders, the power of community, you get it in an even more intimate way when you're in the boot camp. So it's really cool. So if you think it might help you, take a look at it. The website is peakcapitaltrading.com, and up near the top there's a boot camp link, and you can click in there and check it out.
There you go.
And from the non-peak capital trading side, but back to the Bearable Trader side, if you'd like to join us here as part of this community, there's many ways to do that. You can do a simple intro membership for $39, which gets you, I can't read. That's 1 week, right, Peter? 39?
1 week, yep.
1 week, yeah, okay. I'm reading your screen. It's very tiny. Yeah, or you know, which is great. Not a lot of money. Come join us for a week, see what it's all about. I've always said in Bearable Traders, the chat room is the most value you get. In my opinion, it's the best thing about Bearable Traders. It's open from 8:30 every morning. I mean, officially, when you start the show, it's really open around 7:30 Eastern.
7:30, yeah.
Yeah, and we close the chat room around 5:30 p.m. Eastern, so there's time even after the market for people to chit chat. Jared hangs out sometimes just for some informal discussions with members, so that's really fun. But over the years, I've learned more just being in this chat room. Trading is about screen time. It really is. You have to experience a lot of different kinds of days, a lot of different kinds of markets, which is exactly why Peter and I are both kind of like not super stoked for this morning. You know, if you're a new trader, you might not understand why two guys are like, meh, I'm not expecting a lot this morning. But that's the kind of intuition you want to gain over the years. And it does take time. And so if you come to this chat room every day, you kind of build up that knowledge. So there you go. $39 for a week gets you into the chat room and gets you into our basic services. You can get the same kind of access monthly for $99, or bump up to the elite membership. The best deal being the elite annual at $11.99, but that gets into our advanced courses, live webinars, and things like that. So think about it. Yeah, come join us over here at BBT.
There you go. All right, guys. As I said, pretty quiet morning so far. As I said, not a lot on our gappers list happening, and all the focus is on this economic events, right? These two speeches from Powell at Jackson Hole in Wyoming, and then President Trump is speaking, presumably from the White House. So that's really what's going to keep our focus. And Alex on the palm tree in the chat room, did you mean to be a poet? Because I like it. Powell at 10, we must stay zen. I like it. Powell at 10, we must stay zen. So there you go. It's a good little rhyme there. Help you remember what to do. So yeah, whatever you're doing, guys, I mean, look, you can still get some good open trades. Just know, again, volumes are expected to be a little bit lower this morning. Price action might be a little more muted. So I mean, look, every time I say that, you know, then you're always going to get one or two things that just decide to run like crazy. So it's quite possible, but we're not anticipating it. So that's at least my view for the moment. Matt Av, you're asking what's behind the news on behind NVO. I don't think we found the news. We couldn't figure it out. NVO is moving. Didn't look like there was anything specific that was pushing it. Is that right, John? Yeah, we didn't find anything on that, right? When we looked it up.
NVO, no. I'll go back to my notes here. No, it's the other drug company. Yeah, no, nothing in particular.
Yeah, we don't know. So, oh, look at this. Everybody's coming up with the rhymes then. It's Ian saying, "Gotta wait, don't anticipate." So, all right.
I think there's got to be one for Trump at noon, something, something, something. I'm kind of hesitant to say that because I don't know what's going to come through in the chat room here in a second. But
Yeah. What
what
rhymes
we
with
welcome
what rhymes with noon? Spoon?
certain
Loon?
goon.
Goon? Hmm. A market
Yeah,
boon? Yeah, there you go.
buffoon. There's a nice one.
But
Okay,
yeah,
so
there's
yeah,
there's
yeah,
unfortunately it's
we're inviting.
swoon. Hot air balloon. Okay, there you go. All right. We'll see. Whatever happens, hopefully we'll all be ready for it. This is one of those days where sometimes these economic announcements can give great trading opportunities, and you can just find a great move, or it's a day where you're like, well, that was a wasted day. But it's not a waste, right? Even if you don't trade, watching it it can be valuable because you get a better feel for how things can move and how the reaction is. Again, I don't want to oversell it because I don't know. Like the market could totally ignore these speeches. Maybe they'll say, "Ho hum, we've heard it all before," and nothing happens. I just don't know. I don't anticipate that, to be honest. But it's tough, and this is sort of unprecedented market economics going on here. So we'll see what's going on. All right, guys, we've got some time. We've got 17 and a half minutes before the market open. So, and you guys didn't give us a lot. I mean, I guess I didn't really put a big call out. By the way, give us a thumbs up in YouTube if you're out there watching. We appreciate it. And on YouTube, by the way, we still have our fundraiser running. We are raising funds to fight children's cancer. We're bearish on cancer, but bullish on life. So if you want to donate, we'd deeply appreciate it. 100% of everything you donate goes right to the charity. It's really just an opportunity for us to help raise money for a good cause. So we thought we'd sort of add this to our show so that we have that opportunity. And we'd love to hit our $3,000 goal between now and the end of next week is when this ends. So we're 2/3 of the way there almost. So let's hope we can finish that last third off in the next week. With your help, we will make that happen. All that being said, it's I guess the next thing we can do. I want to give time for our moderators to get their lists in, so that they can so we can let you know what they're looking at. I see some of them starting to filter in, so as that happens, we'll put it up here on the screen so that we can share it with you. And we're going to have live trading in the chat room from Brian and Andrew. They always seem to find something to trade, so yeah, I anticipate some. They'll keep it interesting. They always do. John and I will struggle to keep it interesting for you and on YouTube. I mean, look. Hopefully we're teaching you discipline and what to look for, right? John took one for the team, as he said. He made the grand sacrifice of taking some questionable trades just to get something there on the sheet. I wasn't so bold. I didn't see anything. I didn't take anything. So hopefully today, though, there will be an opportunity. I would like to get some trades off. It's always a hard day when you have to wait all the way to the end of the day without a trade. And it's not like I wasn't here. I was sitting here all day watching, and it just nothing set up. That's what happens. So, in any event,
if you were around for yesterday, it's kind of hilarious how you didn't take a trade in the last 10 minutes. You almost sounded busy too, where you're wrapping up the day. You're doing a few things at once, and oh, maybe there's something here on Tesla. Then whammo, it's fun to watch. So again, joining our chat room, you'll see some stuff that'll change your perspective on trading sometimes. And watching a man sit around for 6.5 hours and taking a trade with 10 minutes left to make good money on it. That Tesla really dropped for you yesterday.
It actually moved a lot better than I anticipated. So, but I guess that's why you take them, because you just never know which one of them is going to move. I just sort of stuck to the rules, and this time it gave me a good opportunity. It's been a week for that, right? I had the PLTR one, like I mentioned, on the Tuesday, where you take it, and every once in a while you just get a great move. The few trades that I've taken this week have really actually moved quite well for me. In between, there's been a couple of so-so trades, but I'd have to look back. I typically don't like to look at my stats midweek because it can mess your mind up, but I'm not sure if I've had a losing trade this week. Now I've done it. I've said it out loud. Today's going to be horrible. I'm going to lose.
Nice.
It's guaranteed. Dang it. Oh, well. Anyways, all right. Let's take a look at what our moderators. Some of them are getting their lists in. We'll get going with that, and we'll bring in the rest of them as we find them. John, maybe you can sort of give us the rundown on that.
All right, so Thor's saying, what are you saying? Powell at 10 a.m. Maybe we should go back to bed. Just kidding, but maybe not. He's going to be looking at Google, Nvidia, and then MNQ on the future side. Mike is looking at scanners. He'll be just waiting to see what might happen. Eamon says nothing. We'll be waiting for reversals after 10 a.m. There's another, well, essentially three people saying let's be chill and wait. Gary's looking at the SPY long, but he's got a bunch of information here. Well, we got time. He's long biased to 642. If it falls to 635, and if 635 fails, 630 is in play. It's Friday, news day, expecting big news, big moves. He's also looking at Tesla. I'm going to stop reading these notes now. But Gary's looking at SPY and Tesla, and he's got some interesting detail here. I'm looking, I guess Tesla, Nvidia, PLTR. I'm just going to keep the obvious stuff on there, but I'm also going to try to be patient till 10, but we'll see how the opening unfolds. Brian, Tesla, Nvidia, PDD, SPY, and Qs. Not really loving much though, and he's also adding Google in there at the end. The vibe I'm getting is patience, and no one's particularly excited about any tickers really this morning.
That is certainly true. None of us seem over the moon about anything, so that's okay. Well, guys, these days happen. This is the type of market we've got. We'll just figure out, where the opportunities are. I was taking a look through some of the stuff that was moving yesterday. It's CoreWeave CRWV. Let's look at a 5-minute chart. You can sort of see it pretty choppy, but there was some opportunity. I know people were talking about that in the chat room yesterday. Yesterday morning, we were looking at Boeing, which didn't end up doing much over the course of the day. Walmart, which had its earnings and dropped off the open, and then once again went flat. Remember, XPEV was on our list. It actually made a surprising sort of move higher here in the morning and then flattened out like I'm more used to it trading. So, yeah, none of those, frankly, well, like I said, I didn't get any trades, so no trading opportunities in any of those for me. All right, guys, we're winding our way slowly towards the open. John, how about you? Any big weekend plans? Doing anything exciting?
I'm taking my son back to college on
Oh,
Saturday, and I'll probably try to get in some more kayaking this weekend because the weather will be gone soon, and might as well take advantage of that. Those are probably the two big things I'm looking to do.
okay. Thought your son had his own car. No?
It's having a car at his college is problematic. So
I see.
we're figuring out if this is the year for that or not. So
I see. Okay. All right. Yeah. Sometimes it can be for a number of reasons. I
yeah,
get
it's
it.
not an easy place to have one. Yeah.
Right. Okay. I miss those days. So our good buddy Mike is his daughter's in college, and she's playing soccer, and I was very wistful as he's going on the road to watch her games, and I miss those times when I used to make my weekly pilgrimage out to Connecticut to go watch my daughter and her soccer games, and tailgating parties with all the other soccer parents, and miss all of that stuff, but. Oh well, eventually I'll be in grandkid mode, I guess, and I can do that again one day, sometime.
I also miss tailgating, Peter. It's
Tailgating is, at least for me, it's a very American thing, right? I'd never really seen it in Canada, and it's a shame because it's a lot of fun, right? Like, people just come so equipped. Like, there's always somebody with the hibachi or the grill, and then they set up these tables, and there's always the one parent that's got like the tablecloths and the napkins and the stuff and the thing, and then there's others that just they back up the pickup truck, drop the tailgate, and the coolers of drinks are there, and like it's just it's an impromptu party in the parking lot every game.
yeah. I used to be the tailgate master for when I worked at West Point for my department. It was the Department of
Oh,
Systems Engineering, and I was the tailgate guru for that department. And so
okay.
every game day, I'd have to drive my car up about 6 in the morning, park it to get my spot set up, and then I'd
Oh,
walk home and have some coffee. I'd walk back to my car later. But it was fun. It's like camping, like it's just amazing what you can cram in the back of your car, whether it's those tent kind of things, and you get a portable grill and the coolers, and before you know it, you're all set up and everyone's having a great time. The fall weather, the beer, the food, just yeah. Every
hmm.
if if you're living in a country that doesn't have tailgating, you should Google it and then start doing it for sure.
Yeah,
Make
maybe
it.
it's an opportunity for people to introduce that if they're not doing. Because I said it's great, and even it's not just a college thing. Even at professional games, the very first time I ever experienced tailgating was when I was traveling as a young executive, and I was in Dallas, Texas, and we were going to a Dallas football game, and I was like, it just blew my mind as you walk through. And nowhere else do people just hand you random beers and things, and are
Yeah.
willing to share with you. Usually it's like, you got to take stuff out of their dead cold hands. But tailgating, for somehow it changes everybody's perspective on life.
You've got me fired up, Peter. I need a tailgate right now. That's what I want to do this weekend.
Hey, can we tailgate like the tax Jackson Hole announcement? How can we do that?
We should do a Bearable Traders tailgate someday. We should do one. It's hard to do one in the heart of New York City, but we could do a market open tailgate or something sometime. That'd be so much fun.
We got
I'd be down for
we
that.
should figure that out. What's
Yeah.
midpoint between our places, John? Maybe we could do something near, like, I don't know where we could.
We could do a Syracuse football game. It's not
Sir,
bad. I think
there
they're
you
they're
go.
they're D1. Yeah, you need a decent sized school to to get things hopping. So yeah, that's
Yeah.
probably the best school between you and I that would support something like that.
Hmm. Well, I'm not sure how exactly we would make that work, but we should figure it out. So,
Bucket
um,
list.
all right. Anyways, okay, enough of that, guys. We're just taking some time here because again, it's pretty light here, light on the pickings. Not a lot of stuff that's gapping. I see that in the chat room we've got Brian who's now joining. He's getting all ready in there. Brian, and hello, Brian. They can't hear you on YouTube, but yes, indeed, tailgate party. So we'll let Brian go. He's going to take over the chat room. We'll stick with you guys here on YouTube in the chat room. Enjoy. We'll be back with you probably around 10:30. We'll see when Andrew wants us to switch over, depending what happens here. Enjoy the morning. Trade smart, everyone. Okay. Here we are, still going on YouTube. Hopefully, I haven't messed that up. But there we go. It's quiet, but John, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna pull up a map right now. Let's figure out where's here I
I
am.
think football games are the true place to tailgate, and yeah, we're up in the Northeast. We're kind of hurting for real D1 schools, but Syracuse
Mm,
is just south of Ottawa. It's in
yeah.
God, where is it? It's near. I don't know. I don't know New York State very well.
No, no,
It's
I know Syracuse, but that's far from you. So it's a lot.
well,
Isn't it?
you tell me there's a tailgate and it's not as far as you might think.
It's only
Let's
it's
see. Direction.
only a 3 hour drive for me.
It would be 5 hours. It's doable.
Oh. You'd have to do it overnight. Well, I guess would we do it at the pre-market show? I don't know. The logistics now seem to be getting complicated.
I drove 5 hours last week to Bar Harbor, Maine, so I know I can still do it. That's the longest drive I've done in a little while.
Okay. All right. Well,
Have
there
you
you
ever been
go.
to Bar Harbor, Peter?
Uh, I can't say that I have, no.
That's a cool place. It's about the last place on the East Coast of the U.S. you'd probably visit. And I don't mean any offense to anything north of Bar Harbor, but that's kind of it. But it's got Acadia National Park up there, and it's amazing when you get there. You wouldn't think that far north up into Maine. There's just so much activity and stuff to do, but it's pretty cool.
Right across from Bar Harbor, I see as Winter Harbor. So yes, you're right. We're heading north now. That's what they're calling it. But anyways,
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah. Snow Harbor, Ice Harbor. Yeah. But it's
Well,
actually east of Nova Scotia. No parts of Nova Scotia are actually south of Bar Harbor.
that is true. Yeah, I see that here. Yarmouth and Shelburne are south of it. So out on the island. You get a lot of that, right? Where you get parts of Canada that are south of parts of the U.S. We usually think of Canada to the north. I know people like to talk about uh, down in Windsor, Windsor's one of those that is actually south of Detroit. So
Yeah, you tend to think of the East Coast of the US as a north-south kind of thing, and really it's a little more complicated than that. And so when
yeah.
you're up around the Bar Harbor area, they have this term down east. They're always talk down east that, down east that. Everything's called down east donuts, down east mechanic, down east grocery store. That refers to sailing down to Boston from that area where you actually head east, technically
Mm.
southeast, but to go to Boston, you head back east, and I guess there's kind of a current that assists with that or something. I don't know, but it's a big term up there. But yeah,
Oh.
it gets a little weird up there by Maine. Maine's a strange state. That's as far as I've ever gone up into Maine
Well,
was up
you know
there.
what? I mean, you know what I know Maine mostly for? I mean, other than maple syrup, Stephen King. So I would agree. Feels like a
Yeah,
strange
yeah,
state to me. I mean,
yeah.
he's
Hey,
got to be
I was
Maine's
up.
most famous resident, right?
I think so. Yeah, I'd have to.
Yeah.
I would Google to see if there's anyone else, but I think he's got to be right up there for sure. Maine's
Yeah.
kind of like Canada, so most of Canada's population kind of hugs the U.S. border. Maine is all along the coast, so everything north of the coast is it gets pretty weird. Like some dense forest. A lot of the roads in Maine don't even have names. They're sort of like alpha numerically numbered by the logging companies. That and
Okay.
there's just nothing.
Oh,
A
there you
weird
go.
place.
All right, guys. As Andrew would say, we got to get back into character again. We're really just taking time because the markets are pretty slow today. I've got the usuals on my list. I'm definitely watching Nvidia. I'm watching PLTR. I'm watching Tesla. But as you can see, as I'm flashing them up on the screen, they're all moving sideways here. Not really a lot of movement. So I don't see a lot of sort of distinguishing characteristics on them. I'm going to put NVO on my list, like you saw. We'll keep an eye on it just to see if it does anything. Uh, if you guys have anything that you want to put on our radar, let us know. You're saying Intel? Let's take a look at Intel. What's it doing? Intel. Why don't I have Intel? Here it is. Intel. It's Intel. Yeah, actually it did just jump. Not big though. I mean, it looks big because it was so flat, but really this is like a 18-cent move. So, all right, I got the 1 minute warning. I see a question here. You're asking how can you arrange for the Thailand trip? We haven't sort of released that information yet. Andrew's still coordinating the details, so we are definitely going to Thailand. We as a team, we did Colombia last year. We were in Colombia, and it was amazing. It was really a great trip. We enjoyed it. For those that were able to go, and not the whole team can't go all the time, but it should be a great trip. But if you're interested, just stay tuned. We'll absolutely let you know about the details for Thailand, but they're not released yet. Okay, 25 seconds here to the open. Yeah, guys, it is very quiet. So which means we have to sort of scan a lot of stuff, right, to find things that are probably going to, because you never know which one of these things are going to move. I'm gonna look at. I'm gonna keep an eye on Nvidia maybe here at the open because it's usually good for a move at the open. Nvidia or Tesla. All right, here's the bell. I should put the bell so you guys can hear it. It's really loud in my ears, but you guys probably can't hear the bell. Let's look at Tesla. It seems to be moving a little bit more than anything else at the moment. Let's look at a 1 minute chart here. Here we go. See what we get. Is, Brian is busy watching PLTR. PLTR got a drop off the open. So if you're in that, you might enjoy it. Tesla went quickly from being up to being down. What are the markets doing here? Markets are dropping fairly heavy into the open. So, hmm.
Yeah, they are. Qs are almost about to go red here.
Yeah, Tesla just went red and still moving lower. A bounce. Look at the Qs. Look at it. Got a bounce right at the previous day close. Look at that. It literally bounced right off it, off that price, and moved itself higher a little bit. And same thing, Tesla. Tesla actually went through it, but it also bounced off of that previous day close. So Yeah. This is, wow. Wow. And look, I mean, everything got the same bounce. Look at PLTR. Heavy move down. Look at the second minute candle. Just bounced. Look at that. Retraced
Wow.
everything.
Yeah, look at that.
That's
Those low 150 numbers are trying to hold for PLTR for sure.
yeah. Now keep in mind these ranges are still relatively modest, right? Like these are stocks that can often move several dollars at the open. And even Tesla, that total move was only like $2 top to bottom. So even PLTR here, right, which moved $10 off the open the other day. This entire move here was only about $3, so it's not that aggressive.
Seda in the chat is mentioning Intel, which actually had a nice pop here. Started in the pre-market and carried on into the open here.
Yeah, I know that was mentioned. Here's Intel. It did. It got that pop pre-market, and it did add on to it. So if you decided to take that long, you could have got yourself a good trade. So not a couple of you were interested in Intel. So if you stuck with that, then good on you. Looks like it was one of the better ones that actually moved in, well, so far anyways, has held that. The SPY moving a little bit higher. The Qs are still within that first minute candle. So yeah, as expected, right? Fairly quiet so far. I mean, I know we're only 3 minutes in. As Carlos would say, this is usually when he starts to get interested in the market. So looking for trade opportunities. I think even Carlos would be hard pressed to find something very interesting here this morning.
We have some stocks pushing up to their highs, but at the same time, the SPY is trying to get through yesterday's high. So I think I mentioned this yesterday. It's a tough level. So as the market tries to extend into that territory, um, it can find trouble. And when it pulls back, the SPY and the Qs, it'll make the stocks pull back with it often. Uh, and now, right about now, like maybe in another couple minutes, I'll really take a good peek to see, do the charts on my screen look like the SPY and the Qs? And the general shape of what the market's doing is sell off initial candle, trying to buy back. I'll just kind of look at the other stocks and see if they look similar in nature, which, a lot of them do already, like Tesla and Nvidia, Meta, Amazon, um, even Coin. So it's kind of giving me a clue as to the strength of the correlation on the day.
There you go. Let's
I can't help but watch Tesla every morning. I'm like a moth to a flame looking at this thing.
I've got your I think I've zoomed in. Have I got here? There's your 12 pack of
There it
charts
is.
of charts. So that's what John stares at in the morning to see what of his prime stocks are moving. Guys, this is not Nvidia. Sort of looks the best of these. At least it's getting a little bit of a. Still hasn't managed to break that candle that it set at the open. Let me show you this in more detail. Look at this Nvidia. It looks like it wants to go here. It needs to get up over 173, but not sure. Is anybody trying their hand on Nvidia? Looks like Andrew is trying it in the chat room. Took it at VWAP here and see where he can get it to. But yeah, it's I don't I don't I don't like it. Well, I don't like anything.
Coin's just coming up into the green, or it did momentarily. And Nvidia's is kind of got the most convincing push higher here, but I still think everyone's kind of tied to the SPY and the Qs.
Mm. Take an eye back. John's charts here again.
Watching Nvidia at 173 here. Maybe that might be a good breakout here. 173.10 is the actual high, so it has been above it technically here today.
AMD is very wiki, but at least it's stayed long in the long direction. Still red on the
There,
day. Hasn't managed to get green yet, but
there goes Tesla right at the high of day. I don't think it broke it.
let's see here. No, it didn't quite, did it? And it looks like Nvidia just did get over the 173. Let's see if it can make a new high of day. 173.10 is that number.
Oh,
There you
mama.
go.
Trying some Nvidia here. Please don't slap me in the face like yesterday with PLTR.
Oh,
I can't. Ah, jeez. Is that? What is that? Ah, it's ugly. It's so
yeah.
ugly.
John, hopefully it works for you. Let's go Nvidia. Give John a nice trade. Be good to him.
It's in the right direction.
Well,
Pre-market high is a place I would take money off if I can get up there. Come on, baby. Come on. One more push. One more push. 173.50.
73.40.
All right, I'm moving a hard stop to break even here, so I will get out of this trade if it comes back down to my entry.
You can see this, by the way, guys. Second from the right on the bottom is Nvidia on John's screen.
All right, there's a partial on Nvidia. I'm adjusting my position to the remaining position back at break even as well. So I got some money on it, and we'll see if we can get this to run. Now, I just partialed the pre-market high, which I mentioned yesterday. It's just a tough level this year. So I kind of expect I wouldn't be surprised at all to be stopped out from the rest of this. It's
Look at
just the
that.
way.
Yeah, that is exactly the pre-market high.
Yep, and there
It's
you go. There I'm
interesting.
stopped out on the rest. That's it's been a
Yeah.
tough level, Peter.
Yeah.
And for years, I'm telling you, like even in similar like bullish markets, like you got to that pre-market high and you were looking at like another pop like so many times. It's just not like that right now.
Yeah, that happens. Like we talked about this yesterday, how that market sort of changes personality a little bit, right? It's not a significant change, but sometimes those pre-market levels act as just a you know act as resistance. Other times, you said you can just blow right through them, and you've got a good trade. Likes to move through that level. So right now, it's the
It,
former.
and what I hate is now the new high a day is at that level.
Mm,
So like
right,
you can see what looks like a good setup visually, and you got to remember like, well, but that's
right.
now it's there. Somebody in the chat asked, "What does partial mean?" I'm sorry, I'm
Oh,
using
see,
terms
good
that maybe
question.
yeah. So that means to sell some of your position. So you get in with whatever 10 shares of a stock, and you sell five of them at a certain point to take some profit, but you keep holding on to five, so you've sold a partial amount of your position.
Yeah, and I appreciate you guys asking. Don't be afraid to ask these questions, right? Because sometimes we use these shorthand without realizing, if you're new to trading, it's just terminology that's not yet familiar to you. So,
Yeah, it's a great question.
Zoom. Joey, you're watching Zoom? Let's see. That's not one that was on my radar at all. Zoom. Yeah, Zoom is, as you say, sort of classic ABCD. I see that sort of big candle at the open. Oh, let me put it on a screen here for you. Big move up initially, sort of pulled back as the VWAP came into play, and then it pushed higher. So, yeah, not a bad move. And
There goes Nvidia right through that new high a day, and
yeah,
with enough strength that you could throw a quick stop at break even on that too if you took it. I didn't take that. And now it's at a daily level, which is yesterday's low. I'm going to sound like I'm repeating like the same thing, but that's another tough level because you're trying to get into the range of yesterday's prices. So let's see if Nvidia can do that. Yesterday's low on Nvidia was 173.81.
right. And I gotta say, of course, Andrew the Master. He's in this. He got in right at VWAP and riding Nvidia higher. So
So here you go, Peter. I was kind of expecting more chop, and what we have here, and I would say in the first 11 minutes is actually some pretty good direction. So you never know.
Yeah. The despite the first couple of minutes that looked sort of sideways, the market now has picked an upward direction, and you can see SPY and the Qs both moving higher. So yeah, we definitely have a little bit of movement, so that's good. You know,
This
not
is why it's
everything.
important.
Sorry,
Yeah,
I was just gonna
have a
say not
setup and
everything's go. Oh, sorry, you
so
go.
sorry, but I was gonna say have a setup in trading. This is why it's important to have a setup. There's a thing you're looking for. So, you know, then you're not relying on guessing what the market's gonna do in the morning. You know what I mean? It's like I hate the idea of trying to guess is the market going to be bullish or bearish or whatever, but just have a setup. Have something that you worked out over time. And if it's there, it's there. If it's not, it's not.
Yeah. Nvidia's moving higher. I've got Tesla here that's moving nicely higher right now. Good, good. This is a good looking chart on Tesla as
Yeah,
it's moving up.
this was my day.
Again, these aren't my setups. It's a shame. I maybe should add this to my repertoire because we definitely have some directional move. Like Nvidia would have been a good risk, I think, at VWAP. Would Tesla actually, but not not something I normally trade. Although I see it every day. PLTR, on the other hand, right? I mean, look at PLTR. It is going nowhere. It is dead sideways after that big candle that it retraced. It's ugly. So yeah, PLTR still hasn't quite made it into the. It's like the most junior of the big league teams right now. It feels like PLTR, unlike an Nvidia or a Tesla that you can rely on almost every day. Even AMD. At least AMD is doing a little bit of something, but it's not as pretty as Nvidia and Tesla are my two favorite looking charts right now. What did surprise me is NVO. Remember we looked at that this morning. Weren't quite sure what the news was, but it's got a pretty steady move here. Now I've got to keep this in mind: the relative range, right? This move is still less than $1. We're only talking about 70 cents on this move compared to an Nvidia chart that looks very similar, but this move is $3. So
Thank you to the person who just donated $20 to the Kids Cancer Foundation. Appreciate that.
oh wow, yeah, thank you for that anonymous donation. It's great, appreciate that.
Tesla hit yesterday's high and it's pulling back a little bit from there. That's a nice high day actually because of that key level and then right below 325, which just because it's a dollar area or dollar level and also a $5 level, it'll have more liquidity than other prices. So that's kind of textbook interesting. We'll see how much of a pullback we can get here and then maybe another run up to the high. Amazon also topped out at its previous day high very precisely.
Amazon, well, that's okay. Let's take a look at Amazon here. Oh yeah, a previous day high happens to be the price at which it opened today. I can see, and then yeah, interesting. Well, watching Tesla and Nvidia, I think primarily here for me. Just waiting to see what they're going to do next.
Yeah, I took some Tesla here.
Oh,
Oh man, I probably should have partially got above that 50 cent area. Let's see if we can get back up there.
it was John's.
That was a nice pop. I should have taken advantage of that. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna hold them. I actually didn't take enough shares. I'm in at 82, 324.82. So I've got a little room below 325, but this stall's worrying me a little bit. I'm going to move my stop to break even plus 5 cents. So that puts it at 324.87. So I'll get out of this if it comes back down, and I'm okay with that. But free money on the table for now.
Okay,
I just
there you
don't have
go.
it.
John's in trade number two for him this morning.
Come on, push it. Oh, the SPY just hit a level. What is that one? That is the high from yesterday. No, what is that? That is
Uh,
The
The
high from 2 days
SPY,
ago, excuse me.
2 days ago, I think.
Yeah. Oh, do, 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 do. Look at that.
Whoa. Yeah.
Look, what an interesting fill. It gave me 325. That's really bizarre.
Wow. I thought you would have been hurt on that, Phil, but yeah,
Yeah.
that's interesting.
Yeah. No, it must have done a wiggle, you know,
Hmm.
like a
Yeah.
nanosecond wiggle back up because it filled me 13 cents above myself. That's bizarre.
Wow,
All right.
that's good.
I'll take
That's good luck,
I'll take
actually.
it. I'll take
Yeah.
it. I'll take it. And now, Peter, we're 13 minutes till Jerome.
13 minutes till Jerome. Actually, I haven't done that research I said I was going to look at to see what, yeah, see what Jackson Hole. We got a lot of live feeds out there that will be broadcasting. Okay. Hmm. What's happening?
You know how everyone always wonders what color tie he's going to wear?
Yeah.
It'd be kind of cool if for his last Jackson Hole speech, he came out with no tie, a top button undone, just looking like a Jerome about 3 steps away from retirement. And
About to
that'd be,
retire. I
that'd
think
be
he's
kind of
he's been
cool.
going like with purple recently, hasn't he? To try
Yeah,
and
yeah,
like
yeah,
be
yeah.
non-political,
Yeah.
non-interpreted as political.
He has so much at this point that if he did go red or blue, it'd be a problem. I
Yeah.
think he's kind of committed to purple ties now.
Yeah. So I'm just looking at like last year's presentation from Jackson Hole. There were tables on either side of him, but he's at a podium in between these tables. So,
Ah, okay.
so, so he's got a chair, but he doesn't use it.
Kind of
So
the gala dinner setup.
what is that? I'm not sure what that means for you. Yeah, sort of. Yeah, it's almost like a wedding reception type thing, right? There's a
Yeah,
little
yeah, yeah.
podium in
There
the
you go.
middle. You got tables on
Yeah.
either side. Yeah, except everybody's sitting in like in an auditorium style seating. So yeah, I assume the setup will be the same for this year. But,
Tesla trying to push that high again here. Not quite getting there just yet. Has to pull away from previous day high.
mm,
It's like a magnet on it, sucking it back down. Oh, Nvidia, nice pop on Nvidia. Now that's going up to the previous day close, which it's unlikely to just carry through cleanly. So that is definitely interesting.
uh,
And it's
yeah,
right around 175 as well. The yesterday's close on Nvidia was 174.98. Very, very close.
yeah.
And I'm not a short trader, but that PDC on Nvidia, that's got me wondering.
Mm.
Strong, strong though. Oh, and there goes Tesla.
Yeah, Tesla made a pop up too. So I see
No, that was the
Andrew
easiest.
is well, Andrew's still in this. He added into his trade on Nvidia. He's got a partial at 175. He's hoping for push higher. Yeah, like you said, strong level there. Almost would almost have been worth taking a short at 175 just for the short term drop.
And you have the SPY struggling with that high from 2 days ago, which not
Hmm.
that maybe not the strongest level, but it's something. So as the market is kind of at a indecision point, you got Nvidia hitting its PDC at the same time.
Right.
Could contribute to the shorty goodness there. And Tesla. Tesla was the one. That 940 breakout on Tesla, that was the one.
All right. everybody's talking about. I'm looking at the comments here on the live one of the Bloomberg live feed here from Jackson Hole. I love it how they get the guys with the John. So far, everybody's got the open shirt collars, sitting out in the field before a fence and a mountain. Having their Jackson Hole conversations, doing the rugged country thing. Then they flash to this guy who's wearing some messy bow tie. What's up with him? He didn't get the message? You're
I'm
no
sure
bow
they all
ties
woke up
allowed.
and they milked cows this morning. They shoot some horses. They're probably exhausted. Uh,
What I love sometimes about these things is like you look at people are putting comments here at the live feed for the Jackson Hole, and they're like buy, buy, and then you get the one guy sell. It's like, all right, people, whatever. All right, well, let's see what's going to happen here. We did get a pullback. You know what? I really the only trade that I was looking at that was of interest was what you were talking about, John. I was thinking about just taking a few shares short, right at 175 on Nvidia, but I didn't sort of get my head around it fast enough. I should have
Well,
taken a
I
few
don't
short.
blame you. That it came up strong there too, and it's. I mean,
Yeah.
let's face it. Since the second minute of the open, I mean, Nvidia's done nothing but march higher. So, I mean, while
Yeah.
PDC is a tough level, it could have gone right through it as well. So
That doesn't bother me too much. I mean, I like shorting a strong stock, and it was a good
that is
level.
true. That is true.
But it's just it wasn't aggressive enough on the upside for me to actually short it. So
As the guy who only sees like bullish things every day, I watch you short sometimes, and I'm like, there's no way. And then it works. Like, all right.
I know it's amazing how we
We
can look and
we get
see different
nervous for
things.
each other. I can tell. I
Oh
took a
yeah,
trade, and Peter's like, "What is he doing? Like,
I know.
he's buying
I
the
can't
top."
handle it. I
Yeah,
can't handle buying the top, looking for it to go higher. I see the top, and I'm like, fall, baby. So,
yeah, and it
yeah,
definitely does sometimes. That's why when it's not working, you got to admit it because like you
yeah,
cannot hold on to the top. You will get crushed.
yeah.
And we might get 174 here. Full dollar move. Here it comes.
Yeah. Jeez. I should have shorted it. Let me write that down as a missed trade. I was hoping to have no missed trades today, but that feels like a missed opportunity.
Amazon is looking terrible. That's gone red. New low a day. No love for Amazon. Despite the truck arriving at my house probably 6 times in the last 48 hours. Doing my best.
Wow. Why? Why so frequent purchases?
The kid going back to college, we're like, oh, we need this, we need that, we need this, we
Oh, I
need that.
see. Yeah.
It's kind of funny. My wife worries sometimes that we're being abusive to Amazon. Like, we should pile everything together in the cart and then order all at once. And I'm like, they'll figure this out, Lisa. Don't worry.
You know what? And it goes the other way too. Like I'm telling you, I've done Christmas orders. That's usually when I buy the most from Amazon. And I have put like 15 things, that I'm buying all together, and I get 5 or 6 different deliveries. I'm like, well, you know, I didn't care. I don't mind waiting an extra few hours. Like, why did you bother delivering them separately? And sometimes they're days apart, sometimes they're only hours apart. I'm like, I don't know. It's your logistics, man. You figured it.
Yeah, you gotta
I
trust in the optimization. There's so many trucks out these days. I mean, so
yeah.
it's like it's hard to you picture like, oh, there's one Amazon truck that comes to my neighborhood every day. You kind of think of it as the postman, but it's not.
Yeah, it's a very different model. Their logistics are quite advanced because I know they send trucks to trucks, so
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
they do.
right? Like they'll have guys that'll deliver other packages to trucks in the neighborhood. apparently that's efficient. So,
Yeah.
anyways. All right, well, look at that. Yeah, full dollar move, retracement so far in Nvidia off of that 175 high. So I definitely missed an opportunity there.
And the
Look at
market never got through that level, the high from two
look
days
at that.
ago. That has been the high for the SPY. Anyway, when I say the market, I'm always looking at the SPY.
Look at
The
that. I should have
Qs,
shorted
I
it.
don't watch. Oh, look what the Qs rejected, Peter. They
Yeah.
rejected yesterday's high, very precisely.
Yeah.
That's always interesting when the Qs and the SPY reject at a level, an obvious level. And like the high from 2 days ago that's a real level, and the high from yesterday is certainly a real level. And they both got to their level despite having almost identical charts, but they're identical and they also reached something to reject off of. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Could be a coincidence, but I tend to think not.
Well,
SPY's coming down to VWAP here.
as we sometimes like to say, these levels are magic. I mean, they're meaningful, and this is the thing, right? Keep in mind, guys, when we draw these levels, when we put them on our charts, they're the high and low of the previous 2 days. I have automatically marked, right? That's just a function of the software. You can set it up where it'll automatically mark them, so I don't have to manually do it. But some days, like today, right, it pays close attention and it really worries about those levels, the price. Other days, it'll totally ignore it, right? So you just never know when they're going to be magical and when they'll be meaningless. So wow, we're really getting a pullback off of this now. 2 minutes away from when we're supposed to go live here in Jackson Hole. We'll see if we actually do go live right at 10 o'clock. You never know. He may not hit the podium exactly at 10, but
So Phoenix Gaming's asking in the chat. They're saying, can somebody help me understand why people are so focused on Powell's speech? We all know he's not going to commit. So basically saying whatever news comes out of the Fed will come later.
yeah,
For
not
whatever
wrong.
reason, markets respond to Fed chairs at podiums. They just do, and he could say, I don't know. It's the weirdest thing. He could say nothing of consequence, and it could still move the market. He could drop the slightest hint at something, and it'll cause a big reaction as well.
It,
So
yeah, it'll be one of these things where I think it's because it's all parsed by computers. Like, I'll make this up to be extreme, but he could be in the middle of a speech and say, interest rates need to drop and the market will shoot higher. And then he'll continue and say, in the next 5 years, and the markets will shoot back down, right?
right, yeah.
So, and it's stuff like that that we watch for because it's that type of erratic behavior where, the computers will just react to the immediate statement, and then you get more context, and you're like, oh, that's not really what he meant, or whatever. So you just have to be careful. We've seen this many a time, so. All right, guys, we're hitting right to it now. Seconds away. Again, it doesn't mean he's actually going to start speaking right at the time. Speeches, of course, are notoriously not on schedule. But
Which feed are you looking at, Peter?
I'm looking at the Bloomberg television here.
Okay, I have Bloomberg television as well. Are you looking at a guy without a tie on talking? Oh no, wait, I'm not live. No, hold on.
I'm looking at a guy with a
No, it's
bow
a
tie and a lady talking
yeah,
to
yeah,
people.
okay. Yeah, I got the same
It's a
feed.
real messy bow tie, though. I don't know who tied that for him, but
That's a
whoa! See,
messy
look
jacket
what
as
just
well.
happened on Nvidia, guys. Look
Oh
at
my
that.
God, look at the SPY. Look at the SPY.
Yeah. So look at this. So this is why to be careful, and like nothing's been said yet, right? Like
What the hell?
this.
That
See,
is wild.
right. See, this is the type of move that you've got to just
Oh my
be careful
gosh.
of. This is exactly
Oh
what we're
my
talking about.
gosh.
Like,
Oh
and
my
if
gosh.
if I'd been short on that, right? I mean, I would have been crushed. So
What
maybe
the
it's a good thing
hell?
I wasn't. Just look at that.
So Phoenix, to go back to Phoenix Trader's question, why do we care? Because it does stupid stuff like this. It doesn't even have to
This
make sense. Like we have no evidence he's speaking yet. I know his notes might have got released, actually. Peter, is what
it's
could have
possible.
happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh yeah. What in the world? All
Yeah.
right. I'll just be happy my Tesla stock I own has gone up, and because I definitely missed some trades there. I don't know how that could have taken those though. That happened so fast.
Yeah.
All right. I'm guessing, Peter, the notes got released and it said something very obvious toward a rate cut. It had to
Right.
have. That's my guess.
Wow. I mean, look at that. Remember the move looked decent on the SPY. You look at it now, look how flat that price action up until this point of the day looks, right? Compared to this single candle move.
I hope some of you in the chat were in long trades and you just got
Yeah.
rewarded. I really hope so. I know some of you were. So congratulations. Bit of luck, but hey, I've
Hey,
been rewarded for luck.
trading is part luck. Absolutely.
Wow. NBC from Mark Doran in the chat, and NBC Powell indicates conditions may warrant interest rate cut.
Right. Okay, so there you go.
He
So,
admits it.
little positive commentary.
Oh, hilarious. Who said Fridays are boring? You
Yeah,
just
well, we
need,
said it would
just
be
need him.
boring leading up to this announcement, and look at that, right? I mean, that's exactly it. I mean, wow, the 10-year U.S. bond price just plummeted. Here you go. Okay, so Powell is at the podium. He is live.
Now he's ready to crush the pop.
All right,
His
and I
tie's
can't.
purple.
I'm not sure if I listen to him, I don't think you guys can hear it. So all right, so Powell is absolutely talking right now. He is at a podium. He's not in a chair. John, that answers that question.
Okay.
It's a different setup than it was last year, but I don't see any tables around him, and he's got some sort of banner hanging behind him. So,
So some
wow.
comments I'm seeing pulled out. Powell says the situation suggests downside risk to employment rising and shifting balance of risks may warrant adjusting policy. So there you go. How high will we go? Just like that, folks, after the bearish sell-off the past few days has got everyone sad. We are within three 3 points of all-time high on the SPY, 2.5. We're back.
Wow. Okay. Well, we are up and slowly pushing higher now, so we haven't seen a pullback yet on this. We'll see if his live statements match the bullish sort of. Well, I guess in this case, I don't know what this. I always get confused on the dovish and hawkish thing. Which is which?
Hawkish is pro bullishness. Hawk, bull, dove, bear, right?
Yeah, but in this case, for interest rates going down, does that make it dovish or hawkish? Pro
In
what?
this environment,
Yeah.
uh, well, it's a term that refers to the market, right? The stock market, the hawkish bull, or is it an
I don't
economy in
know.
general?
Yeah,
That's a good
I
question.
admit this is one area that I haven't spent a lot of time, not enough time researching, so I don't know. Do you guys know? Anyways, I have to profess my ignorance here. Anyways, whatever it is, we got to see if his live comments match what was released in the release statements, which caused this market to go higher. If there's any deviation, we could expect to see a reversal. If there's even more support for it, then this thing could shoot even higher. So, like we said, the 10 a.m. we knew it would be significant. Here it comes. Or here it happened, I should say.
Not that levels matter as much as they did 6 minutes ago, but Nvidia is at the previous day high. But again, another bearish or bullish surge, and these levels are going to get chopped through very easily. So I wouldn't put as much emphasis on that as I would have earlier this morning.
Right.
All he has to say is, I apologize. My assistant released the notes that I wrote 30 days ago. The new ones will be handed out momentarily.
Sorry, is that? Did you make that up?
No, I was joking. I was
Okay.
thinking what could turn all this around?
Oh
Would it
yeah,
be
yeah, yeah,
Pal saying, you got the old version of my notes. I'm
yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, exactly. That was the emergency version, right? It's when you prepare like either an acceptance speech or a regret speech, as a
Yeah, exactly.
politician. Whoops, picked the wrong one.
Reach in the wrong pocket. I wonder if Andrew had shares of Nvidia left when that happened.
He did. He did. You
Oh
can
man.
see that he. I can put this here so you guys can see what's happening in the chat room. Uh, you're only going to be able to see some of it. Can you see that?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Oh
There he
yeah.
is, and he was able to get partials all the way up here. You can see, yeah, he just like started partialing as this thing was popping. Even added here just a couple of minutes ago. There he is. Oh, he's listening in. He's waving at you, Gull.
There he is.
He'll be with
We
us
love you
soon,
too.
but there you go. Kisses, moi 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 moi. So there you go. Anyways, yeah. So he had a great trade on Nvidia, and I'm really dying to short this thing, but it doesn't feel like a wise move.
It's getting a little long in the tooth here.
It is.
Watching Tesla here at 334. I
Tesla's
think there
still
might be.
looking. It looks strong. Tesla looks a little stronger there. So, wow. It's funny how Andrew's talking in the chat room now. He's had such a great month. He said he gets nervous posting his results because he's worried that people are going to think that he's faking it. He himself is like, are this real? Because he's been making like 40, 50,000 a day, right? Not every
Yeah.
day, but enough that it's got him thinking, what am I doing?
I
Yeah,
just
so
took some
good.
Tesla at three. I don't know where I
No,
entered. 333.82 and partial to 335.12. And now I've moved my stop to break even on that as well. In fact, I'm going to move it to break even plus 5 cents just to help with the
no.
slippage because things
See
are
if I can
crazy
get
right
your
now. So
chart back up there. So look at this. In for a third time here.
really love for this to do one more leg. Come on, baby. Pretty good partial at 335.12. The high's 335.27. And given the spread, that means I pretty much got close to the tippity top there.
Mm, nice. What is the spread on Tesla? Oh, it's about 10 cents right now. 5
It's
to 10
not
cents.
terrible for the price. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very liquid. Come on, go back up. Don't do me like this. Yeah, hold 334. Nope, I'm out. I'm out again. Same looking trade as my Nvidia one, so a partial and back at a break even, but
Right.
scraping together a day here.
Oh, no, it's good. Look, I'm still sitting on my hands here. Haven't taken a trade yet. So this is the type of market that does not favor my strategy. So that being said, if things quiet down now that the main guts of the Powell speech is out, we might get some reversal opportunities. This strong move on the market is generally good for me if we can see people calm down from their exuberance. And every time I can't use that term exuberance without thinking of a previous Fed chair who used to used his term during the internet boom and bust, the whole irrational exuberance, right? Greenspan era. So
Greenspan, yeah. Is he
yeah,
alive still?
I don't know. He was crotchety back then in the '90s when he was talking about this stuff. So
Yeah, it's a guy who seemed like he was always 90 years. He is still alive. He's 99 years old.
wow, okay, there you go.
99. What did he do in World War II? Where were you during the big one? I guess he would have been a bit young.
In where?
The Second World War, I was wondering if he was of age, but believe it or not, a 99-year-old
Yeah, he would
would
have
be a
been
bit young.
99. He would have been in his 20s, his mid 20s. He could have even served in the war. I don't know.
No, I think he would have been about maybe less than 20 by the time the war ended, I think.
Oh, yeah. When did the war end? 40,
45.
45? So if he's 99, he would have been born in 1926. So
26, yeah. So he would have been, yeah, he would have been
18,
just
19. Anyways.
this is the thing I do whenever I see someone who's about this age. I immediately go to their Wikipedia and see if they were in the Second World War. It's just a
Right.
history thing that I do. Um, no, it
Okay.
looks like I think he was in school.
He was one of those kids that lied about their age and signed up at 16.
Could have been. It's a little, let's see. Graduated in 1943. Yeah, they don't really even touch on it. He went to the Stern School of Business in 1945.
I see, Peter, you're talking about AMD short. I don't know. Like I see what you're probably looking at 2 minutes ago there. Uh, not, not yet. I think that while Powell is still giving his fixed remarks, we got to be careful because the Q&A could change the perspective here.
Coins really flying here. That hasn't really looked back. Not much of a pause there. PLTR is a strong move as well. Everything bonkers, bonkers, I tell you.
Wow. He's It's interesting. He's going through a big history of how the rates got here, why they're at where they're at. It's he's really trying to paint a big picture.
In his last speech, he's summing it all up.
Yeah, I guess.
Last Jackson
When I
Hole
was
speech.
just clicked on it, he was talking about the pandemic impact, and he's digging it all out.
How many years did we sit near zero on? It was such a long time.
Yeah, it was a while. AMD. So there you go. So I think Peter, there you go. The AMD short, yeah, a little premature on that. You know, didn't last long. We're now at a new high. So still keep an eye on these things.
Let's see if Nvidia can push a new high here. 177.59 for Nvidia. Percentage wise, on my screen, CRCL is now up close to 7%. They're having a great day, and coins up 5.6.
CRCL, I'm surprised. That's one you said you're still looking at. Look at this. Yeah.
I mean, that's a hell of a break.
Well, everything's following the market here, as you can see. We're still pushing higher. So, move doesn't look to be over yet.
I think Nvidia will probably pop through this high a day. Market looks like it's ready to march up higher. It's testy
Yeah.
though on Nvidia. It's still 177.59. There it goes. Oh, by a penny. Hesitant. Very hesitant.
There it is.
Yeah,
There it
there's a
is.
better push.
Andrew's still working that trade. It's what an awesome trade. He really, got a great move here. Almost
I don't know if I can take
$6.
how happy he's going to be when he comes and joins us here, Peter.
Yeah. Well, it's you got to be good to be lucky, as they say. So, yeah, you definitely got that.
Stocks are weird, Peter. Stocks are weird.
It is, but that's what keeps us coming back. The
In-
weirdness.
in- Interest rates going to drop. Every company is now worth more. They just are.
Trading stocks is a lot like it's like dating the bad boy or the just the erratic girl. It's that type of relationship. It feels where sometimes it's just awesome, other times it's unpredictable.
You know who's getting no love from this whatsoever is Walmart.
Walmart.
N-
Walmart from oh
Nothing.
yeah,
Looks
Walmart
like looks
is
like that initial pop with everyone else, and it just faded, and that nobody's.
yeah.
Why would that be?
I wonder why
Why?
that is. Well, I mean, I
Well,
suppose technically, if
they
he's
got to
talking
drop rates when unemployment goes up is when you was one of the factors to drive rates, right?
right, that's exactly what I was going to say. If you look at what Powell would be talking about in terms of underlying economic conditions, the reason to lower rates is because he is expecting the economy to falter. And if the economy falters, that's not usually good for retailers. So,
Right, right.
or falter maybe is a strong word. Weaken, anyways.
It's a funny thing because when those indications come in that the economy is slowing and unemployment's going up, and then the rates drop, the market reacts in the short term. It's like that's great. Let's make all the stocks worth more money. Let's make all the companies worth more money. But if the economic downturn continues, eventually the market concedes that all these
Right.
companies should be worth less. It just takes longer. It's just so bizarre.
It is a
Oh.
strange, it is a strange world. So that this, I don't know if this makes President Trump's speech more or less interesting. This should be music to his ears. In terms of the Fed finally suggesting that they might lower rates, you can almost guarantee he'll say too little, too late. Um, and there's probably some credit taking for the market moving higher. But
Yeah.
we'll see what
Knowing
happens.
Trump, he'll probably back off on the too late thing. He's happy to get what he wants eventually, and I wouldn't be surprised the way he kind of changes. You know, a month ago, Powell was the Antichrist, and then this morning he'll probably be like, he's not a bad guy, you know.
It could be. I don't know. But yeah, there's a couple of ways he could choose to play this, I suppose. So.
He's a bit fickle
All
in
right.
his
Well,
relationship.
looks like we've just come off the highs a little bit. I mean, obviously, we're still doing really well up here with this pop based on the fixed comments and the written notes that were released from Powell and Jackson Hole. He's still speaking. He's still live at the podium, and I don't believe we've got to a Q&A yet. No, he's so I was wrong when I said whether his comments would be, like 2 minutes or 20 minutes, and he's definitely he's at the 20-minute mark and still going. So let's see what let's go to my Fed Watch tool here and see where we're at now. Oh, look, confidence has gone back up. So remember this morning we were looking at it and it was down around 70 something percent. Confidence is now at 89% that we're going to get a quarter point rate cut on the 17th of September. And I expect that'll probably climb if nothing changes over the next few days. So there you go. 89.2% at this moment.
And if you could, everyone, take a moment, if we can be so humble as to ask you to hit that like button down there, and the subscribe button's even better. But Peter and I did make the market spike quite strongly this morning, so it's got to
Yeah,
be
we
worth
did.
something. It's got to be worth a
Yeah, you're
click.
welcome.
So the SPY got up to 645. Oops, I just messed up my whole watch
55,
list.
45, 55. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, and I think the high was 646 something little
Oh, well,
I
let's
just
take
messed
a
up my
look here. What was the well, yeah, the all-time high here was, yeah, 646.09 is the all-time high here.
so it's
So,
almost a double top kind of. I
oh,
mean, it's not
646.19
precisely.
actually touched at one
Yeah.
point.
S- So it may have pulled back from that all-time high, but hell, I mean, it's just such a good pop. You got to see some selling here. People are going to take some profit.
Mm-hmm. Wow, so there you go. So it did finally move down a little bit here off of these highs.
Did you take a short anywhere, Peter?
I didn't. No, I couldn't. This was, this reversal unfortunately didn't signal it the way I needed to.
Yeah.
So I mean, it looks good in hindsight, but at the moment, there's no reason for me to have believed that it would reverse at that point and not go higher. So.
Walmart is now green. You know what the one last stock is that's red on my watch list? Peter's
Hmm.
JP Morgan.
Well, BJ's Wholesale is still red, if that's any consolation.
Oh, that's sad.
Work into it and Workday are both red from the earnings that we were looking at. So.
Oh yeah. Those either.
So I got a couple of things there, but yeah, almost everything else has pulled green here this morning. So. Well, this is fun. So, guys, look. So that was event number one, right? Jackson Hole again, not over yet. We still have the Q&A to come, which means we could see more jumps and or drops or both here on the stocks. Noon, Trump is supposed to hit the podium for his own speech. I honestly have no idea what that's about, what the topic is. I can't imagine this will not come up as part of the conversation. Whatever the prime purpose is of that announcement, that could also have a similar impact on the market. Probably not as dramatic, I would think, but just be careful if you're in a trade. Again, you just got to be aware of these events so that you can be ready should the thing move in your favor and you want to take some off and take some profit, or if it moves against you and you have to take some evasive action, or you just say, you know what, I don't like the risk. I'm just going to sit out because you may be looking at a trade around that time. Now, Trump, unlike usually the Fed speakers, the timing is often not as reliable. So sometimes President Trump can be 5 to 25 minutes late. But he's actually been pretty good recently. The last couple of times he's been pretty much right on time. So who knows? We'll see. As far as I know, this one's also coming to you from the White House. So Andrew's continuing to do well here on Nvidia as he added in at this bounce and just took another partial. So he's still looking at
It looks like the
178 for an all out.
nice. It looks like the S&P 500 did break its all-time high, if I'm reading this correctly. Just small FYI.
Did it?
I think so. I've got the 52-week high at 64.81, which would be the all-time high.
Let me
And
look at
then
the actual number here. I like according to me, I'm looking at the SPX number. Doesn't look like it did, but
I'm looking at Yahoo Finance.
okay. Well,
S S
according to my chart, it did not. But we'll.
Yeah, no, yeah. Is the SPX in DOS actually the S&P 500?
No, the what we look well SPX dollar sign I think should be the actual S&P 500 as far as I know. let's see. I don't really look at. Yeah. Oh, but you know what? I always forget. See, I don't look at the SPX because it's delayed. It's delayed by like I can't remember if it's 5 or 15 minutes. So it maybe officially it has. The SPY that we normally look at as a reference because it's not delayed is really just an ETF, right? So we have to just keep that in mind. It's a rough approximation. It's close enough for most things. But yeah, if you want to look, minutely at the
I'm dyslexic. I'm reading the numbers backwards. The high today is 60. Never mind. I put a nine in front of a six instead of a six in front of a nine. Never mind.
carry the four.
I still say the numbers 9 and 6. One of them should be changed so they look less like each other.
Okay. Probably a little late for that.
Yeah,
But,
that's a tough one.
yeah. All right. So, Nvidia back down here. Coming back down. Wow. Fun. I mean, it turned out to be, not a bad morning. Again, no trades for me, John. I think you 3 trades. You got
Three
three.
trades, yeah.
Yeah.
Nvidia,
So
Tesla.
yeah, not so bad.
And a good result, really. And any day I'd be very happy to be where I'm at, but you can't help but look at these charts and think it'd be kind of
Right.
nice to have caught the monster, but well, you don't always get it.
No, unless you're Andrew, in which case you seem to always get it.
He's always in something, so he's either gonna get it or he's gonna get
Yeah.
crushed.
Yeah. That's true. That's he is so good at that. All right.
Is Jerome still talking or what's he doing?
He is. Is he? No. Hold on a sec. Doesn't look like it. So maybe there wasn't a Q and A. Was there just fixed statements?
Yeah, I'm guessing that's the case because I'm looking at some kind of graphic here. I would have thought they'd go right from a podium to a
Look.
Q&A.
Yeah. Looks like he's looks like it's done. So yeah. They're into the commentary and the review. For the most part, the Fed didn't really change their tune, other than to say economic conditions are now sort of leaning towards, supporting a rate cut, whereas before they've said we're not yet there. So no commitment to actually do it, but they did say conditions are more leaning that way. They did reiterate in Powell's comments that the Fed is sticking to their approach to the markets. Right, they're still targeting a 2% inflation. They're still targeting their current strategy and are going to review it only every 5 years. The overall strategy, of course, not the rates. And the indication is again looking more towards if conditions don't change, they will likely introduce a quarter point cut in September. So that's what got the markets reacting positively. Again, like I said, 3 weeks until that rate cut is actually supposed to happen, and 3 weeks during this type of economic environment is a lifetime. Anything can happen between now and then. So the Fed could very well come back in 3 weeks and say, you know what, conditions changed or didn't continue on the path we expected. Therefore, we're just going to wait another period. Who knows? So, in the meantime, the market is loving it and sitting at all-time highs, as we were just talking about. Maybe not quite broke it. Maybe it did. Depends on which way you flip the six.
Yeah, we'll flip it the correct way, and it did not. But the SPY looks like it might make a push for its all-time high here. I'm watching this. Love
So
being new
Nav,
all-time.
sometimes watching these things can be good just for that, right? If it's led to a creation of a new rule for you, no trades within 15 minutes of the Fed, that's very reasonable, right? Because look what happened. Look how dramatic. Look how violent, if you will, that move was. Whereas we were in a very sort of nice downtrend after the move higher, and then we just took off. So we again, this is why we were warning you about it so heavily, because we know that these types of things can absolutely happen. Again, we have no ability to predict which way they would go, if it would happen or not, but we've seen it just enough times to understand it's got a high likelihood of something occurring, and something did occur.
Another takeaway you might want to write down from this morning too is if you try to time these things using like a YouTube feed, like when Powell arrives at the podium, I'll
Mm,
get out of my trade or something. Remember, sometimes they release the notes early or whatever. So like he was nowhere
right.
near the camera, and this all happened.
That's a good
So
point.
and
Yeah. Yeah.
Tesla's holding up well here. It's got
Got Tesla with you. Yeah, Tesla is holding up.
I don't feel like this might be the breakout point. If there's another new breakout, it might kind of develop from just a
Mm.
little bit higher than here, maybe not necessarily the all-time high or the high of the day, rather. Amazon's higher. Tesla's a weird stock percentage wise. If you watch Tesla day to day, when everything's having a good day, Tesla has tends to have a better day than most things percentage wise, and the same holds true on a bad day.
Right.
It's a big mover.
It which is surprising, right? Normally, when you get a company that moves to be the biggest company in the market, or even close to it, it tends to calm down, right? The price action tends to settle a little bit, and the movement gets less extreme. But Nvidia has not followed that trend. It's
Yeah,
uh,
yeah.
it's stayed very, you know, nicely
I guess
volatile. I would say from
it
our
does
point of
have
view.
that it does have that H20 chip news hanging over its shoulder. I don't know if that's holding it
Mhm.
back here today too.
All right. We should be getting our visitors coming to us soon, Andrew and Brian, to share their day as to how it went. As we know, Andrew, I showed you a little bit earlier. I think Andrew's still in this Nvidia trade, and it just rocked it again. You think he's making this stuff up, but guys, we watch it live every morning, so we know it's real. We know it's live, so it's great. And if you want to be part of that, best way you need to be in that chat room. So take a look at bearbulltraders.com. Look at your joining options, and you'll sort of see what it's like. This here on YouTube, it's great. Hopefully, we like to keep it good, but I gotta say, chat room's even better, in my humble opinion.
Get yourself some unfiltered Andrew over there in the chat room. It's
That's right.
a good
That's
time.
right.
We got to tone it down here on the YouTube side.
Live and raw.
6:45 on the SPY.
All right, we got Andrew and Brian joining us here momentarily. Andrew and Brian should be here. Hello, all our friends in the chat room. We're back. And there's Andrew. See him here. Beautiful. Don't hear him yet, but he's here. There's Brian. Everybody's popping in. Good morning, gentlemen. Looks like you had a great day. Why? Oh, what's happening? Why can't I
We
hear
did.
Andrew?
Started
Hold on.
with
There he is.
PLTR short at the open.
I know you're
Is
hearing.
Peter? Can
And
Peter hear us or no?
Yes, I can hear you now. Sorry,
I think you can,
Andrew,
yeah.
that was my bad. I had to change the settings. You're good.
Perfect. How are you guys doing?
We're doing great. Not as good as you though. You had a massive trade on Nvidia. Really rocked it there. I'm not
Oh,
sure
it's
if that.
crazy.
Yeah, look
Like
at
I
that.
still have TQQ as well. Like it was a crazy day for me. Like I still have NVIDIA and I still have
Yeah.
TQQ. Like it was just so easy to make money today. Like it's just it seems like not real, honestly. Uh, and you know what happened at 10 o'clock? JPAL announced that the statement of the Federal Reserve Chairman comes, and then he acknowledged that the labor market is really loosening. Benzinga was announcing it in real time, and we understand that inflation has very meaningfully came under control. So essentially, the war on inflation was almost, announced, won. Uh, so that's very dovish for interest rates. So it means that the interest rates are coming down, and obviously they accept. Even they also say that interest rates are right now is very restrictive for the economy. So if they agree on the inflation is under control and the tariffs didn't bring a lot of inflation, they can start, cutting rate faster, and then market liked it. Brrr, ripped higher. Bonds also, TLT bonds are also ripped. Although bonds are coming back, and that's not a good sign. But the bond market is also very important because the rates will come down, value of the bonds are going up.
Yeah.
So we were trading NVIDIA, Brian and I. So it was an amazing rip on NVIDIA. It started from a 5-minute open range breakout, then red to green, and then we added a 920. So essentially a couple of really important strategies were in there. So 5-minute open range breakout, red to green, breaking news, and a 920. So 5-6 strategy in NVIDIA. And it just keep adding. And yeah, it turned out to be an amazing, very profitable day for me on NVIDIA. TQQ, I had some swing before. And I sold at the high of the day, and then after the rip, I added more on TQQ here, and I still have a little bit of TQQ left here. Maybe sell it at 91.50 or something like that. So that kind of breaking news is the place that you really bank the profit. And guys, remember, guys, we start the $50,000 funded trading account for Trading Terminal on Monday. Close your position all today. We reset all the buying powers for Monday, and it's getting serious. So if you're not a Trading Terminal Premium member, today is the last day to join us.
Yeah, I also had a really nice short on PLTR, literally right at the open. It it I was really watching it at the open, mentioned it in the chat room as well, that it looked quite interesting for a short, and it was just the last couple minutes, it was just really starting to sell. So shorted it, and then literally there was some kind of a rug pull. If you look at that first doji candle, it dropped like to 152 in a heartbeat. So I wasn't expecting that, but managed to get some out at 153 before it popped back up.
Yeah, it's a surprising move at how aggressively it moved down and then came right back within that
It
same minute,
just
Brian. So
yeah, there's no other way to describe it. It was just like a rug pull. The market makers just yanked all the bids, and the stock just tanked. Just, well, probably some market makers grabbed some shares while it dropped.
they're still talking about PLTR. Of course, we mentioned this yesterday as being the most overvalued company in the S&P 500. See if I can get this thing to pop up on my screen. Andrew, I can't remember if you were you on yesterday. I think I shared this earlier in the morning when.
That
Right.
yeah, it's very overvalued, but you can't even short it. You know how it rips. Uh, it's,
Mm.
it's very tricky to short also these
It's got that meme.
Sure.
It's got that meme status, so it's really people are just, there's people there that are just buying the dip. They
I
just
know.
don't They don't care about the fundamentals. It's
Well, when they were looking
sort
at
of
the
self-fulfilling prophecy.
yeah, price to earnings and price to sales, when you put these on a chart, you can see like this is all the S&P 500. You can see where they're all gathered, and then Palantir's way up in the top right corner. So just so far distant from everything else that they're saying, you know, there's a warning there. Now, you know, for me, I'm thinking that means good trading. I don't really care if the company's overvalued, but it's interesting that you're getting more talk about this in the market.
Yeah, exactly. More volatility to the upside and to the downside. Like Palantir, you know, sold off 12% in a day, bounced back 7% in the same day. So you want to be in those kind of stocks. That's why we PLTR pretty much every single day. We trade PLTRs in our watch list. Eventually fades away. I think even, you know, we had these kind of usual suspects that eventually fade away. But so far, PLTR has been amazing. It was a great chart. But just something is overvalued, you shouldn't short it because, again, you know how it rips.
No.
You know, rips like 10% in a day for you. Like Tesla, for example, in the same chart that you showed, Tesla is also one of the very overvalued companies in S&P 500. But you know how it rips. Like you see how it's ripping. You know, it rips today 5%.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sorry, this is a Benzinga that you guys are hearing, so I'm gonna pause it in trading terminal. Yeah, so TQQ is going up. NVIDIA is, I'll see where the NVIDIA is. I have some orders at 178 on NVIDIA. SPY is ripping. IWM, the small caps are ripping the most, 4% up right now.
Yeah, that's
So
why
he's,
I'm up a lot. I have some TNA from this week,
yeah, he did say that. Yeah.
which is the small cap ETF.
Oh, lucky you. Oh, the small cap ETF. Never mind.
There's a big order at 340 sitting for Tesla. It's probably could go there. We're back at the high of day for the Qs and the SPY. The chance of a rate cut now 91% again, was 71 this morning.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Powell. Thank you, Mr. J. Powell.
I think he was feeling the heat.
He did spend a long time at the podium, and I felt like he went through the entire economic history and backdrop as to why. I don't know. This might just be my perception, but I felt like he was doing a lot of justification to why they were now considering changing the rate, and sort of to say, but it's not because of political pressure. Of course, he did not explicitly say that, but
Yeah.
that's what it felt like.
Because he's wrong. Because he's wrong. He's on the wrong side of argument, J. Powell. That's why. There's no political pressure on him. He has to lower the rate.
This next push puts the SPY within striking distance of the all-time high here. It has to pop another 50 cents or so.
Yeah.
That was such a military comment. I love that. That was such a view of military. This next push is bringing within the range for our missiles in a strike of all-time high, or you know, teams ready.
I want to blow something up besides my account.
Absolutely a military. Roger that.
We're in striking distance.
Striking this. Sorry. E2 turn you stalwart on the move. um, so kids, the funded account automatically puts all of your trades into the journal. That part is not ready yet, but hopefully in a week or 2 weeks after we start, all of your trades automatically will go into the journal. So you do not have to do anything. We just didn't finish it on time. It's just because I forced these guys to lunch. But yeah, essentially all the funded accounts, the trades, auto close at 4 p.m. Everything would be transported to your journal, and then you can review their journal automatically. No manual needed. In maximum 2 weeks is going to be launched. So um, Uh, so somebody asked, Mr. Traveler is asking why NVIDIA crashed from 182 to 168 last few days. Seem overdone for no reason. So that's the financial market. Financial market has volatility. Stocks are moving up and down. Money flows from one sector to another sector. Pullbacks are part of financial markets. You cannot get, and it's pretty healthy actually. When these things are pulling back, 2, 3, 4, 5% pullbacks are really healthy in financial markets. It removes the excess leverage, and it's just part of the market. So don't try to reason why things go up and down. As a trader, you just trade those volatility
Yeah.
based on risk management that you have.
There was some news on Nvidia this morning about that new chip they're making. It's B30 or something like that. That's supposed to be more powerful than the H20. And I guess people were thinking in the short term might, if people stop buying the H20 for a while, waiting for the B30, it might delay some sales. But I'm kind of even questioned why they would sell off on that news.
I love how they do these things with the chips. It does feel like, an old tried and true strategy, isn't it? Like, look at this new shiny thing over here. It's the B30. It's
Yeah,
completely different than the H20. No, really. No, we didn't just
yeah,
rename it. It's a whole new thing.
yeah.
So any question, guys, on YouTube about the trades that we did today? It was a really amazing day for me. It was a great 2 weeks for me. Like, it was just unreal. Um, I made all the losses on the Liberation Day back. Thank you, Mr. President,
Mm,
or someone. Thank you, Fed. Thank you, someone. We got to thank someone, and we're going to blame
thank
someone
you.
always.
Thank you. Got to thank Mr. Powell.
Mr. Powell, for your lovely comments.
Yes. Step to the mic with the money machine.
So if you're super new to trading, don't take any funded account because it's expensive. You're gonna waste it, especially the more expensive one through DAS. If you have a strategy, you think you got a hold of it, you think you're good, your confidence is a little bit too high, do it funded account and see the challenges of consequence. Having a consequence is very important. Like, for example, you give me, I can jump over that table and walk on that table with my book on my mouth, uh, uh, like this, because there is no consequence. Even if I fall into the ground of the office. But put this book in my mouth and between two buildings, the same table, I can't, because if I fall, I'm going to die. There is a consequence for that. So trading in a funded account gives you a consequence. Consequence is very important in trading. So $200, everybody can live with that. But $200,000 loss or $2 million loss that I did, a lot of people can't live with that. So we want to create a condition for you that there is a consequence in your trading without risking too much of your life. AI is asking, how does it feel to recover the losses? It feels great, but also it's very important to, usually when I recover these kind of losses, my ego goes up again, and then I make another mistake similar to that. Like, when you really make good money, then you really think, oh, I'm a really good trader, and I figured this thing out.
Yeah.
So you have to really keep the ego in
Welcome,
check.
welcome to trading. Yeah. Just when you think everything's going great, the market has a way of humbling you.
Exactly.
Yeah, I always get nervous when I start feeling too good about my trading because I've had that happen so many times. And you start thinking you've figured it all out and nothing could possibly go wrong. Wow, PLTR is breaking to a new high here today.
PLTR is
The apes
also,
are back in control.
yeah, it's really
Wow,
nice.
OKLO is going up. Everything is green on my screen today, except for the
Except
dollar. The dollar's down.
and Netflix.
Hmm.
You're right.
And Netflix is red.
Yeah. Not by much.
Oh yeah, PLTR is ripping. I'm still long on NVIDIA. I want to see if you can get to 178. I have no desperation to get out. TQQ as well. Also, this is my open position, guys. This is my open position window. You can see I have 1,600 shares of NVIDIA, 500 shares of TQQ, 20,000 shares of bonds, and 10,000 shares of VOO, which is the open unrealized gain of $500,000 so far. So that is my position. The good thing is both VOO and TLT give you dividends. I think TLT is monthly, VOO is quarterly. I think VOO is which is the S&P 500. I think it's about 1.5% dividend they deposit in your account. TLTs, I think, is about 4.5% annually. No, David, I didn't sell covered calls from VOO. They don't give you a lot of premium. Like the S&P 500 doesn't have that much volatility. The premiums are super low because there's not a lot of volatility. You either have to sell it way in far so you can actually get some time value in your covered calls. And just one time that I sold covered calls, just one time in my life on the VO, that was the time that President Trump announced that China trade deal is happening, and then market gapped up 2%, and then my covered call got hit, and I missed 2% of the move. Like it's just one time in my life that I did that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've done it a number of times.
So if you want to do something that does covered calls, something like JEPQ that Mina mentioned, is probably a better one. These are covered calls on these positions. But the problem with the JEPQ and JP is on a bull market, they underperform than the indexes. So they don't move much because in the bull market, their positions got hit all the time. In a bear market, they're amazing. They don't go down, their beta is low, and then you get the monthly. So JP and JEPQ were amazing for 2022. I had a lot. But when you go into the bull market, they usually underperform. But who cares? We don't need to beat Wall Street. So what triggers my VO to sell? I think I don't think I'm planning to sell my VO anymore. Like if I need money for something, like for my divorce, I think my ex-wife, I have 4 properties, she probably takes them. So I don't think I need to sell this for the division of assets, unless I have to. I don't think I would sell it for now. I don't have any. I have some, cash some other places. So there's no reason for me. It's more like a long-term investment. Um, and if I sell it now, okay, the $500,000, I sell it. I have to pay tax on it, which I don't need to. What should I do with that? I have to buy another position. So that's why I want to keep it. If it's in the loss, I might sell it to harvest the loss and to do that, but I don't really see any plan. And I personally don't want to buy more assets anymore. Like I have 4 properties that I probably give it away through my divorce proceeding. And I don't want to have things. I don't want to have apartments, house, villas. I like to be liquid, really, life. I think Elon Musk is like that.
Mm.
Petal Dorov, the CEO of Telegram, is also like that. They don't have any assets. Because when you buy things, you get connected to them. Even my Lamborghini is a lease. So, see, in 6 months, I just drop it. If I want, I borrow another one from them.
Someday you're gonna be settling that divorce.
Yeah, someday. Yeah, exactly. I mean, you're a slave to what you want. Not necessarily a slave, but for example, when you buy a really nice, I don't know, like beach house or lake house, you have to maintaining it. You have to invite people in there. You have to take care of your guests. Then you have to spend so much energy on it, which is nice for a lot of people. But for me, my passion is in traveling. My passion is in climbing. My passion is not to really do that kind of things. Maybe if I have family one day, I'd like to have family and kids and stuff, and my mindset completely changes. Because in your house and your apartment and your villa and your lake house is all becomes part of your family experience. But as of now, no. Like Mike has a lot of properties. And I am exposed to real estate, like S&P 500, 11% of it is real estate. Like a lot of people like say, Andrew, buy commercial real estate in this country, in this city. They're already doing it for you. The best professional way is it's a very competitive way.
Yeah.
They are already doing it to you. What is it? Real estate is XLI is the real estate
No, XLRE.
XLRE, yeah. So it's 11% of S&P 500 is real estate. So you're already in there in the best locations, in the best possible business plans, business models. Any question, guys?
And there's just no stopping PLTR going up. Um,
So Dan is asking a question on YouTube. I'm a new trader and I have
yeah,
difficulty getting rid of my losing positions. So it's human nature
yeah, I
to get
saw
the
that.
profit fast and then get a hold on losers. Brian, what do? You get out really fast.
Yeah, I think well, it's really about having a trading plan, really, when it comes right down to it. I mean, what is your plan when you get into a trade? You have to, you have to know where, where you're going to stop out, where the trade hasn't worked out, and you have to accept the loss. And that's sometimes a difficult thing, accepting a loss, right? We're always, as soon as we get into a trade, we're always fearful, fearful of losing money, fearful of, um, not getting out at the right time. So it's just it's always about discipline and controlling your emotion, and you do that by having a plan.
Yeah.
At least that's one of the best ways to do it. Know where you're going to take profits, know where you're going to stop out.
Yeah, that's a good point. All right, guys. So it's 8. Thor is coming. But Peter, do you want to do 5 draw for the members of Lambo and Garbage Truck? We do 150% discount for PCT today for the members of Lambo and Garbage Truck. So you can go into the YouTube channel and join. It's only $4 a month, which is just for the support of channel. So YouTube likes us. YouTube really likes the channels that having engagement with their community members. And then we're gonna do 5 books, ebooks, audiobooks, and potentially even this book. So when your book is, by the way, is free. Today is the last day. You can go download it for free on Amazon. There's some people said that it's a little bit difficult on mobile. So try browser-based so you can actually download there. So we start with 5 books and then we go 150% discount for the boot camp. So if you want to join as a Lambo and Garbage Truck, this is the time. And that would be really nice. Thor, you're here, I know. How was your day? Did you have a good day?
I had an okay day. I ended up hitting a profit target, thankfully. But I was short, and this ad you did was Amazing. It was like right after you got in, the price went bop, like right. It was like, it was just, that was spectacular.
Thanks.
Hashtag BBT, people.
So Thor, I know you're really nice to people. Do you give 1 hour free mentorship to one of the Lambos and garbage trucks if we do a draw today? One of the members of Lambo and garbage truck.
I tell you what, I gave 1 hour away yesterday, and I will give away another one today, but only to a member of Lambo and Garbage Trucks.
Oh, that's very nice of you.
So because since I'm going to give away two, I just feel like there has to be a perk. So yeah, so I would do it. I would do it for you.
Thank you so much. Okay, so in that case, Peter, if you wouldn't mind, let's just start with 5 members of so 5 for everybody. And then members of Lambo and garbage truck draw twice, one for 100% or 50% PCT discount and one for working with Thor.
You guys are making this complicated on me. All right, I got this.
We got you. We got you. We're here.
I can figure it out. Okay, here we go. All right, so let's start with the 5 audiobooks, like we mentioned. You guys, you've been doing hashtag BBT, so that's what we're going to
like
go
the
with
video, guys. Like the video.
Yeah, like the video. I'll give you another couple seconds here as we get it set up. So all good. You can see everybody's coming with their entries. Yeah, the stream is lagging, guys. I've got like 5 people on. There's a lot of stuff happening here, so it'll settle down in a second. Pushing my system to its
like
limit.
Smoking right now.
I know, it's exactly. The fans going crazy down there. Okay, here we go. First winner, Patrick. He's just in as Patrick.
Congrats.
All right, Patrick, you win an audiobook. Congrats. Guys, just a reminder for the audiobooks, email Carlos at bearbowltraders.com. He'll hook you up. He'll give you a code so you can download that free audiobook. All right,
Yay,
so there's
Patrick.
our number one.
Ooh,
We're going to get a second one here. Allison Wade. So Allison is the winner of a second audiobook. Number 3, Jojo. Good old Jojo Campus. There you go. Jojo Campos. All right. 4th is Aleem Khan. Aleem, congratulations. Once again, you can email Carlos at bearbowltraders.com and you can pick up that audiobook. I'll let him know to expect you. And last but not least, we got Shiraz. All right.
Nice, Shiraz.
Shiraz and
is
Joy. All right, here you go. So those are our first 5. Now, I gotta fix this up here because we want to do some giveaways just to those. Just give me a second here. We'll set this all up again. We're still using the hashtag BBT, Andrew, for your 50% discount off BCT. Right.
Yes, this one is only for members of Lambo and Garbage Truck.
Will do.
For their support of channel.
Because you are cooler than everybody else.
No,
Okay.
it's just because.
No, I'm just kidding. Just
they're
mostly.
supporting the channel. They're good people. All right, so gonna go.
All right. So we just means that only those who are actively participating or members of the channel get in. So I see a bunch of you trying. You're the wrong membership level. You notice it's not.
Muji TV is nice. I hope Muji TV wins. He's been a really good supporter of our channel.
Okay, well, we'll see. 50% off PCT. Andrew, how do they pick that up? They email you, I assume?
They email me, Andrew at bearbowltraders.com.
Okay.
It's the bad, yeah.
All right. We're going to go in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Our winner is Yanni Wu.
Nice, congratulations.
Yanni Wu, you get to win that 50% off P Capital Trading. Email Andrew at bearbowltraders.com.
Yeah.
Now,
and then the last
for yours,
one,
Thor,
yeah.
You want to do it towards the end of the hour like we did yesterday?
Yeah, that would be great. Yeah.
You want to do it at the end of the hour?
Time to sign up as well to the Lambo and Garbage Truck if they want.
All right. Yeah,
All
we'll
right,
do
guys,
ours
thank
at
you
the
so
end of
much.
the
I'm
hour.
handing it over to 2 of our best traders, Thor and Nathan. And Nathan, I got to say something about Nathan, guys. Nathan has been helping us build this new feature that we have for BBT, which is, very similar to Book Map. We want to call it Order Map, or maybe we call it, I don't know, Atlas
Atlas.
something like that. So Nathan is people. Yeah,
I kind of dig
it's
it in the
nice, guys.
Atlas.
I can't wait till you get to see it.
yeah, it's amazing. All right, handing it over to you guys. I'm signing off. Thank you so
The
much, and
Atlas.
see you
Hey
soon.
guys, have,
Or
have a great rest of your
Atlas.
day, everybody. It's
Thanks,
quite the
You
everyone.
morning.
too.
Thanks, Brian.
Cheers.
Cheers. Everyone out there. Hey, Nathan, what's up, buddy?
What's
I
going on?
don't know if you guys have seen this, but I'm just gonna sneak in just like a little side thing here out for the YouTube peeps. Once my screen comes up, you'll be able to see it.
Should be up there.
Well, look at this here. I'm just gonna kind of sneak in a little side preview here of just kind of some of the just the beginnings. Just don't tell Andrew I showed you. All right. Don't let him know because he didn't want me to share this with you. So don't tell him I'm showing you. Yeah, I'm sure he's not paying attention. He probably just signed right off. So I doubt he's gonna even say, just kidding. Just kidding. He's not upset at me, I hope. If my feed disappears, you'll know what happened. Anyway, so that is for you all. So just kind of a little heads up. Nathan, dude, I'm having a better day. I was short Amazon when it squeezed after Powell talked, and I ended up having a very almost break even on what was otherwise an absolutely gorgeous short. And then on top of that, I also had some kind of a hotkey error on NQ. So you can see down here when we opened short on NQ, I went to get short, but for some reason it did some weird split fill thing, which I've never had happen before. And then I got the whole short, but then I just ended up cutting the position because it was only like one contract of micros for some reason.
Yep.
So it
Nice.
just
I love when
completely
that
goofed
happens.
up. So yeah, completely didn't work. Right. And then so we squeezed Pal News, and then I tried a short here. And then again, weird hotkey thing happened. So I have to reevaluate my buttons here. And then so I went ahead and just manually calculated and got in this time and hit my 4-to-1 target. Thank
Nice.
goodness, right? Finally. So now I flipped over to ES, and now I'm trying on ES. I tried kind of a wide stop that I took a loss on now, and I'm trying one more on ES to see if I can maybe make this happen. But otherwise, I'm still going to end up like an R or two on the day. But I'm kind of like
Yeah,
hoping I can like make something happen here. But man, what a pain in the butt today it was. How about you, dude?
I took a short on MES and then Q2 up here.
Oh yeah, see, look, this is squeezing
And
as soon as
stuff
I
that
show
it just
everybody.
it looked like I was just reading some buying exhaustion, but it still just kept
Yeah.
breaking through even on the weaker volume. So just sitting here watching them see if they set up again. Yeah, I waited to get into the office till after the news came out. I was like, that's just gonna not even be worth it. Get up here, sleep in a
Yeah,
little
the
bit.
main thing I want to do is I'm just going to, if this doesn't work out, I'm just going to be done because this day is just, it's not really a cam day for me. So it's just busted at this point.
It's extended.
You sound a little quiet to me, Nathan. I'm
Do
not
I?
sure if it is to
Sorry.
like the room, but maybe a little quiet to me. But anyway, let's
Check
see here.
something.
So how's everybody out there on YouTube today? How is your trading days? Like, did you guys get caught up? I saw a couple people were also short like I was on Amazon and got to, ooh, there's some selling on ES. Was short on Amazon. Anybody was long with Andrew on Nvidia? That dude was on fire today. And Andrew was like, every time Nvidia pulled back, he was hitting the dip like beautifully, man. That thing was just ripping. Fire.
Yeah, I wish I could trade like him, but
I do too.
he's just got an instinct that it's hard for anybody else to kind of do that just because of he just knows. He just reads it and sees it.
It's kind of like he makes it look so easy. But what a lot of people have to remember is this, he makes it look easy the way Babe Ruth makes batting look easy. You know what I mean? Like, he's been doing it for so long. He's so naturally gifted, man. He just walks up and crushes it. But many of us it's just important to be in tune, like Cat Williams says, we just got to be in tune with our own star player. You know what I mean? And it's okay. Like if you don't, there's other ways to get there. you know, some of you will have that level of talent, like Paris, where you can just read the tape and the price action and just do it. You can buy heavy, you can start partialing really fast, and you make lots of money. It works. I never found the talent level in my trading ability or the confidence behind it to actually be able to trade that way. I think you're muted, Nathan.
Same. You know,
There you
it
are.
just it takes it's different. You know, if you want to trade like that, you really have to be able to take in a lot of information, see things really quickly, and have a great feel of momentum. So it does. It just kind of takes a little bit extra. When you're range trading, things set up a little bit slower. It's kind of easier to figure out, you know, what's going on and set up your position and find your spot. More like a sniper.
So someone was asking, why am I shorting without having an alert on? That's a solid question there. So I'm trading utilizing VPA, and I'm basically scalping, not day trading right now. So for me, what I'm utilizing is the fact that we're beyond ATR and we're up near the monthly pivots, and the order book has lost its order book above 6,500. So this is the top, more or less. You know, I expect a top somewhere right around here. So when I saw us buy up and then start selling a little bit, and then as we offered again and our volume dropped and we got indecision here, this is what kind of got me interested in starting to sell. So I don't think we're going to go much higher than this just based on the book and the laddering looking better to the downside. And I'm seeing more selling than buying right now. So why not? I will admit, I've had an incredibly good month so far. So I'm kind of stretching some of my price reading skills right now. So I'm recognizing right now that I'm a little bit outside of my comfort zone, but I'm having a little fun with it too at the same time, just really leaning into my VPA. But I'm not going to go for any big wins here. I'm just going to go for a 3 hour, 4 hour hit and see what I can pull off. But it is good every now and again just to stretch a little bit and have some fun. Yeah, why the heck not? Right. But if this squeezes and stops me out, I'll stop for the day.
Well, especially on a day like today, where you know it's just not the best for range trading. Such strong momentum, especially after the news. So
I will say I do recommend for most traders, like on a day like today where nothing's really fitting your system, it's probably a better idea just to not trade. Because the real thing you got to really be concerned with is the behavioral slippage that can come with it, right? Which is like starting to overcommit on non-standard days, right? I feel quite comfortable that I can control myself emotionally to take a couple stabs up here, and if it doesn't work, I can just walk away. But I mean, I've been trading for the better part of a decade now, and I just know I can do that. Right. So, but that's not true for everybody, right? Some people like 1 or 2 trades out of position and you're going to wreck your whole trading year life, right? So you got to kind of be in tune with yourself when you're trying this kind of stuff. I will say it does look like we're kind of looking like we're going to squeeze back towards 6,500, but I like this area for a short. So why the heck not? Let's try it and see what
I think
happens.
too, we're fading off some option spots into
Yeah, we
some
keep
selling
front running
pressure.
6,500 too.
Yeah. And it just looks like I'm just seeing so much exhaustion, but it just picks up and breaks that high and then picks up a little bit of volume
Hey,
and starts to fade off.
Nathan, Dan says he's having difficulties closing my losing short position. So they're squeezing against you. I acquired before creating a trading plan. Please scream at me and ask me to close those damn positions. I like your style, actually. I think screaming's great. Let me try and show you with maybe I could help you with some empirical evidence. Maybe that would be nicer. So what you are doing, my friend, is what we call dun 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 holding the bag, right? This should be a game show. What you're doing is what we call holding the bag, right? Holding the bag is a bad system to get involved with, and I can tell you right now, holding the bag is what blew up my first account. So if you don't wanna listen to me on this one as someone who blew up an account doing it, Okay. Right. So what happens, right? Hey, everyone in here, give me a number one if your first account was blown up due to some kind of bag holding. Give me a number one in the room if that could include like your first funded. Right? I'm gonna show you something. How many people here have toasted their accounts by not getting rid of the bag? Thank you, Brenda, for being open and honest and forthcoming. Michael K, Isaac, it's me. I already said no. Bag holder I am. Right, Dan? Right, number one. Don't forget at the end of this session, I did promise Andrew I was going to auction another mentoring session with me, but only to a member of Garbage Trucks and Lambos. Right, so you can see here this lovely picture of someone holding the bag. Right, 1 times 4. Right, so hey, Inti, how are you doing? So here's the problem too. What happens is we have this thing. What happens is this. Right? So what happens is you go up here and it comes down and I'm going to use a long example. Now, actually, let's do a short example here. Right? So right now, you've come up to this spot right here and you have gone short, right? You're short, bam, arrow. As it's come against you, you were supposed to stop right here. Right? But you didn't. Yeah, look at all the ones, by the way, thrown. Right? So you didn't stop there. So now it comes against you and you add in, we call this averaging in or down, right? Or you just keep holding and you keep holding and you keep holding. And then it comes your direction and it comes your direction. And then it finally gets right here and you take profit. And oh my God, thank God you made 2R, right? 2 times your risk. But you risked like 20R, right, for this trade. Right? So, but thank God it worked. And believe it or not, the market is non-directional often enough that that will work more often than you would believe it will. Now, unfortunately, it will work often enough until it doesn't. And it only has to not work one time. And this is why everyone's giving you the number one. Right? It only has to not happen one time where this thing just keeps going up and you're just holding and averaging and holding and averaging. And then you have to either accept that loss or blow it up. Right? So for me, you have to stop the bleeding now. Right? So get out of the position now. Right? Stop the bleeding. Right? Because if you don't, right, you're never going, you can't keep reinforcing the bad behavior. So first thing you have to do it to generate enough pain to make you not want to do it again. So this is pain, right? So cut it, feel it, live in it, be upset about it. You shouldn't have done it. Don't do it again, right? Next time you won't be so lucky. You're going to end up without an account, right? But take the pain. The other reason is because right now what you are doing is you are robbing yourself of the potential to be long, right? You're also robbing yourself of the potential to get back short with an RVR that gets you your money back, right? If you keep holding, you're only going to get 2R right here. But if you got back in up here, you could be at 15R by the time you get back down here, right? You got to get out so you can get back in at a more reasonable risk tolerance. This is what risk management is for. We're wrong all the time. Bro, if you do not get comfortable with taking losses, you are not going to succeed as a day trader. Like long-term investing is for you, right? Just go and buy something with dividends and stick your money in it. right? And then just let it give you dividends, right? It's nice. It works. It's fine. You know what I mean? But what you do not want to do, right, is decide to take that kind of a mentality and apply that to day trading. Day traders lose all the freaking time, all the time, every day, multiple times a day, right? Even swing trading, I believe, you still need to be able to get out of your positions when you're supposed to get out of your positions. Right now, I'm telling you, this is as basic as waking up in the mornings and like not making your bed. Like if you're gonna wake up in the morning and let's say you want, nice, Dan, thank you. Let's say you want to lose weight, right? If you're the kind of person, like for instance, if you're thinking about stock trading, right? And this something happened to me. I lost a lot of weight while I was stock trading. Why? Because it was really hard to be accountable for stock trading, but not being accountable for myself. Right. So I would have these, you wake up in the morning. Well, I do intermittent fasting. I don't eat before 11 o'clock in the morning. So guess what I don't do? I don't eat before 11 o'clock in the morning. Well, what if you're hungry before 11 o'clock? What do you mean, what if I'm hungry? I don't eat before 11 o'clock in the morning. Right? Right. So this is the start, Dan. So now, Dan, Dan, first off, everybody, can we give Dan some love in here? Dan, welcome home, bud. You're safe to hang out here with BBT. Maybe on Wednesday, let's come by and we can make this a subject on Wednesday to talk with Dr. V about, you know what I mean? About just accepting these losses. We talked about risk on Wednesday. You know what I mean? I think some of this issue is also about like not being willing to accept the risk. You know what I mean? So what you just did was a very, very big thing. You know what I mean? So this is growth for you. Yeah, I still don't eat till 11. This is important growth, right? Confidence, right? Confidence comes not from knowing what will happen, Dan. Confidence comes from knowing what you will do based upon what could happen, right? So what you did is you just made a big step towards gaining confidence in your trading, right? You now know there is a limit that you're willing to take, and your account is more important than winning, right? So now that you've established that, now treat your account like that every single day, right? Your account and preserving that count and avoiding the feeling you're having right now is the goal, right? You want emotionless, relaxed trading, right? And you just want to you want to just get in when you want to get in, you want to get out when you want to get out, right? Make sure you have the right type of relationship with the market. It needs to be that interactive, I want to interact relationship. Right now you're in a need, right? I needed this position to work. Now you don't. You're out. Right? So now you can go back to wanting to get in whenever you want to. So once you digest, once you have a moment to grieve this position, and I do mean this, right? This is Dr. V here, and then we'll get Nathan in here because I know I've been soapboxing over the top of him the whole time, but it's a bit, I really want to be here for our guy, Dan. You really need to take a moment like you've just broken a relationship and you need to grieve that. You know what I mean? Don't just get right back into another trade. Don't just try to rescue that. You know what I mean? You need to reset, take a deep breath. Okay, she was a lovely lady. You know what I mean? But I held on to this relationship a little bit longer than I was supposed to. And now I have to give her all 4 of my properties. Is that what Andrew said he was going to have to do, Nathan? Didn't he say something like he's going to have to give her like all 4 of his
I think he
properties
said
or
I had to
something?
give her all the properties.
You know what I mean? Like, wow, man, I thought mine was a burn. Dang.
Yes. Some of the stuff he says on here, guys, like that's truly like what he's like. He does say stuff like that all the time. You're like, what did he just say? Thor and I crack up in his mentorship, and when we're listening to him live in the BBT chat room. We're just like, did you hear what he just said?
Did you just hear what he just said?
What did he
Like,
tell
what is
Gary
going
L?
on here?
What did he tell Gary L yesterday? He's talking about a short on something, and he was like, I don't think I'm going to take it or whatever. And Andrew's like, well, I'm a degenerate, so I'm going to. I'm
Yeah.
going to.
He's like,
I
well, I'm
was,
gonna do it because I'm a degenerate. And I'm just like, what is going on right now? Oh my gosh. Oh man, man, what do you, so Nathan, maybe a little commentary from you for like, what do you think? Like what helps you accept losses?
uh, especially with range trading, just knowing that I can get in higher. Like this short I'm looking for on NES. Me and Newbie were. I was looking at some of the comments he was making. We're in a great spot, but we keep we keep getting buying exhaustion, but we keep still running higher. And so I'll just keep letting it get higher until it sets up for me. And if I take a loss, I can get a better entry because I'll still be targeting the same area. So that's just kind of how I look at it. You can get a better entry and get a better setup if you just get out. But if you're still in it, then you can't really be that objective in reading price action and look at what the chart and the price action's telling you. You just can't. You're too emotionally involved into the trade then. But but yeah, I mean Newbie MES is looking good up here, but man, even though we get
Nah,
some selling pressure, we keep making lows.
this thing's a
We're
buy,
moving up
dude. I
on
mean, I think we
really
could get a
low
bit of a
volume.
sell
So
here, but man, the market was so excited for what Powell said. You know what I mean? So
yeah, it's been
happy.
waiting for like anything that sounded decent was probably gonna hit this.
It was amazing.
Laughing Sock, if you have some time today, could you kindly describe CBD and how you use it? Well, like Thor always says, CBD is the answer to are we buying or are we selling? So how I use CBD is I like to look at it just after the open. I put it at 9:30:01 seconds just to get rid of that volatility that happens right at the open with all those market on open orders that fill. And then I just, I'm watching it. I'm seeing are we continue like today, MES, nothing but green and just running green and
Yeah.
running green.
Yeah.
And then I have, a lower time frame. I got a 5-minute CBD. And so that's what I start looking to see if we're starting to get into a seller. And I was starting to get some reactions over, the last 10 minutes, but we're still buying and still breaking into these highs. So just keep following it up. But that's kind of what I use is that short-term CBD to find, have we found our seller? Are we getting that selling now? And then seeing if that's still picking up. But right now it's just not picking up. So,
No, yeah, man. It's
you know,
it's statistically much less likely at this point for us to even to actually have a reversal. So that's the thing a lot we
yeah, I
have
was
to
just,
we kind of have to I think we have to realize is, having a long maybe we could get a move back to R6 or something on some of
I
these
was just looking
futures.
for a fade.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, as far as like a
That's really what
reversal
I'm
goes,
playing here. It's
probably
not a
not,
full big move, but just scalpel fade up here. But I mean, look at this crappy volume. Still just keep going higher. It's just market makers just keep lifting and lifting and lifting.
Yeah, it's like let's go. I haven't set up a 5-minute CBD for a little while, so I was putting one on here.
Yeah, I mean that's a great time frame just as you start getting into the cam
Yeah.
and you want to see that reaction, for a seller, if you're looking to go short, you hit it, and you want to see kind of that red coming in on that CBD and then that green, that long term, that daily just kind of fading over and starting to lose some momentum. But if we can come back lower, I might look for a long, but that's way, way, way down.
Mine are the same right now.
We are in high premium.
Yeah, like wild. So I'm gonna end up probably getting taken out of this one, and I'll just call it a small winner today. I had one of my biggest winning days of my trading career this week, so
Yep.
no reason to spoil that buzz by being overly frustrated today. So
Yeah, I mean, these are the days we kind of
yeah, these are days just to kind
kind
of
of
like
just survive,
take a couple
survive
stabs
through this
and
day, and
whatever.
wait to get back in those areas that we like to take the entries.
Oh, oops, I mean to do that twice.
But I'm hoping the volume and volatility starts to pick up coming into September.
We just
Maybe
had a
this news will
seller hit
help.
again.
Yeah, they keep hitting it here over the top, but we keep breaking, and then we pick up a little bit of volume, and then we fade, and we don't pick up any volume, and then we still break the highs. I'm just wondering if we're just not really getting a seller, and it's just profit taking, so we're not getting those orders
Right,
lower, and so
right.
the market makers just aren't interested in
No, I
dropping
think
the bid.
I think that's exactly what we're I think that's exactly what's going on. I think we're stalled right now because we've run out of like actively engaging buyers. But I don't think we're actually really selling right now. I think we're getting profit taking that the algorithm is just absorbing.
They're just lifting, and people are taking
So we're
profits
probably
on the
gonna
way.
squeeze up here. So I'll get rid of this. No more trade. Unless it sells away, but then I don't have to stare at it if it's over there. But man, I mean otherwise it was kind of a weird day. Lots of calls, but I mean not because of how weird the day was, nothing really like lined up right. So these are one of those days where having, you know, one of the things you have to kind of recognize is if you have a system that's kind of like doing the same thing over and over again, until it doesn't is kind of the idea, doing the same thing over and over again. This is definitely an until it doesn't kind of day. You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah,
like, so for me,
yeah.
these are just the better days to sit away. I kind of had a feeling today was just a day for me to not even trade today because I knew with the Fed talking and all that the cams probably weren't gonna be overtly, I mean, not that they weren't gonna be effective, but it was gonna be a challenge.
Yeah, these are the days that Andrew and breakout traders, momentum traders kill it.
I saw it, I was, man.
They're reading that we're going up, and they just keep buying and going up and profit, and drops back down and buy more, and that's how they do well on days like this.
It still looks like we're like not gonna go much higher than this.
It's just meandering, like literally. It's just aggravating anybody.
We just don't have any small orders. Like the ladder sucks to the top side on the ES. There's a big order at 6,500, but there's nothing on the other side of it. So it's giving me very walled vibes. And the buying we're getting in isn't really moving the price towards it very efficiently.
Well, ladder is starting to build to the downside. Now it's kind of fading off.
Just to jump
It's
in,
shifting higher. Hey,
random
Peter.
voice. Don't forget, we do
Voice of
have
God.
a scheduled press conference from President Trump coming in 24 minutes. Again, whether that happens to schedule or not, which would make sense why you don't have a lot of top end orders, because who's going to sort of load the book up as you're waiting for that type of press conference, right? The market tends to react to presidential addresses, and especially one that immediately follows the Chair Powell's comments. It could be interesting.
Thank you, Your Lordship.
Thank you, Mr. Peter.
Anyway, so well, I already thought I was less excited today. And now I know that I'm even less excited about the potential for more today. So yeah, I think I will just take this very small amount of money I have today and just limp away. Um,
Yeah, it's just not much. I mean, it's exciting.
So we're gonna wait for
all the
noon.
breakout and momentum traders, but for us, this is just like, okay.
But at noon, like if Trump talks, though, it's not like he's gonna release a statement. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's a great opportunity for the market makers just to sweep everybody on both sides,
Right.
and then run the ladder them. Like, haha, gotcha.
No,
Because
Gator
remember the
Dawn, it's
price action on
when
Monday?
Peter's voice comes in, it comes in from above me. That's why I look up.
Oh, my whole
Yeah.
house shook. when he
Yeah,
was talking.
like Peter, that's not that you don't that's not audio. Like you're hearing that in your head right now. Like mine just seems like it comes up here. You think that's coming through your thing? Take your headphones out. You'll still hear it. Try it next time.
Do it. Do it.
Oh,
Do
man.
it.
See? Wow. Like, I mean, it's
Come
incredible.
on.
If
I don't know.
anyone took their
I don't believe
headphones
this one.
out, I swear to God. Call it, if I can see it, monthly R3 /
Yeah.
R6.
That was kind of the area.
So here's why I like this. Look right here. We've drug our low end ATR up to here. We have monthly R3, ATR low right here, and that's also fair value on this big news candle. So I want to start playing a game. I'm maybe like next week. I heard it on a different channel and I love it. Which is it's my own version of it though. They don't do this. They do a different game, but I want to do this. Name that close. Closing price. So, and then I want to come up with some kind of a perk or something like that. So, but if anything, we can do it just for the fun of it. So today, let's just do it for the fun. So for everyone who's out there, and then we'll come back the next day and then we can do like something fun with it, but it'll be fun just to talk about. So right now, if I was going to do this, I would say we're going to close. I would say closing somewhere right around here. So I'm going to pick like 64.37, like right in here, somewhere in here. But anyway, we'll start doing it. So anyone in the room, we can watch the video later. Call whatever price you think we're going to close at today. Do you think we're going to close high, like up at like 6,500? We should find a way to track this and see like how often. It'd be cool if we tracked it.
It's hard to say. There's just a ton of nodes all over.
I was thinking about doing this fun thing. I was gonna start a new eval account and then let the room trade it for me at 11 o'clock. like where where we'll pull it up, I'll like load into it and then like on TV, and then the whole room we can all like look at it and like we can pick like a closing price and then take a position on it and just see what happens.
I like it.
So we'll call it like, kind of like a house account. Like we'll call it like the rooms account basically. So we'll only trade it from 11 to 12 and with setups in the room.
John does his polls. I think when he's on like every day during his time, he does a poll of where do you think the SPY is gonna.
Yeah. So we could do it. So I want to do a poll. When I come on, the first thing I want to do is put a poll on and say, what price are we going to be on by the end of the session?
Yeah.
And then put a trade on that puts a target down to that location and see how often the room picks the right direction. I think that'd be pretty hilarious. If I got that set up, would other people be willing to? Would y'all want to do that? Would that be hilarious? Help me. We can literally sit here. I'll show you. Like I'll load out of my performance account. I'll load into a paper account, but I'll only use that a paper account for trading from 11 to 12 with this room's input. How fun would that be? Not a paper account. I mean a funded account. Like I'll do like $100 like funded account. And then I'll only trade it here in the room. Okay, let's do it. So next week, okay, on Monday, let's do it. We'll start it. Okay, I think it's going to be a horrible idea, Throne, for the record. I think this is a horrible idea, right? So no, I mean, yeah, whatever. It's not even a real account. Like, who cares, right? If making a bunch of money on it or something, I'll do a meetup and I'll use that money to like buy everybody in the entire YouTube who can come drinks. Or a party, or I'll use it to bribe everybody into the NYSE or something like that.
Well, no, you could do like a big party for everybody if it makes money.
Yeah, we could even track. We could track it. I mean, we could have like I can load it into my trading, my Trade We could track it.
Yeah, everybody puts in like a buy me a coffee like Bruz has.
No, I'm gonna do the
You
whole
can
money and
share
everything.
it.
That way, I'm gonna be the one hitting the button. I'm the only person who takes any liability for the outcome. But if we end up actually qualifying an account on it, then we'll load it up for real, and then we can just trade it every single day. And if we end up making like 10 or 20 G's, we'll all just meet up in New York and throw the biggest freaking party money can buy at a giant. We'll use my system.
No, I
So
like it.
we'll only play it on available calls, and we'll analyze it together and decide if we want to take it or not.
No, I
And we'll
like
see
it.
how it goes. What do you guys think? I think it'd be a lot of fun. I have to write my lawyer. Let's make sure it's okay. Just kidding. No, I just have it like as a little house. I've seen other channels do it actually, so I think it's okay. We're just gonna call it basically like we're gonna call it the rooms account, right? So basically we're gonna do I gotta figure out some ways to do the polling part of it, but say like what do we want to do? Do we agree? Is it like I'll say, do we agree? Is it a long or a short? And then based upon what the room says, that's what we'll do that. And then we'll go, obviously it will ideally be within the confines of my system. So there will be some days we won't take trades, right, on it because we won't have any trades to take. But there will be other days we will have trades to take on it. So every day at 11 o'clock when I come into the room, I will load into the house account basically, and the channel account, and we'll have a good time with it. And we'll see what happens. We'll see. Well, let's see if the hive mind works. I did send Peter. I did write Peter a request to see if it was okay if we did this. Unfortunately, it's going to take 6 months to find out because the person who's sending the request has to hand deliver it, but you're only allowed to deliver it during winter months, which is really interesting rule. So into Canada, we're not really sure why this rule exists, but
Adding more rules to it.
it's just really interesting. It can only be hand delivered to Peter's house in Canada during winter months. So I'm not really sure, but anyway, so we get a
by
surprisingly
dog
low.
sled. Don't forget, it has to be delivered by dog sled.
Yes, by dog sled.
Dog Sled Express instead of the Pony Express.
By Pony Express. Hey, ghost candles are good, Nathan. I love them. Nathan Stevens. They are my love, my dream, my brainchild, and they treat me so good. If you want any of my indicators, which is right now, the main ones are either my cam pivot plays, really key levels, or news. Or sorry, Camelria plays, news, or ghost candles. If you want either of those, you can get them by going to my Instagram. It's at Thor Young BBT, and you can see my Instagrams right here on the screen. A little fuzzy, but it says at Thor Young BBT right there. So today at 10 o'clock, we knew things were going to get spicy because it was telling us that Powell was going to talk. Trump is not like a market event, I guess. So, because it doesn't give me that. These are the only charts I use, Brenda, for day trading. I use a 1-minute chart and I use Bookmap, which is going to be replaced very soon. Nathan, bro, what a compliment from Andrew on the help you've been giving on the market. I still think Atlas would be dope, but what a lovely comment, huh? Compliment.
Yeah, we had a meeting last Friday.
Yeah.
And it went really well. I got to see even more of it, and I think I should get my hands on it and a couple weeks. So I'll hopefully get to see it and run it through some tests and see how it does and give some feedback so we can perfect it and get it out there. Because I want it, Andrew wants it to
Whoa.
be
Real
just as
quick
good.
market structure shift there on M&Q. Look at the clear. Look
Yeah,
how they
I
just
saw it.
cleared the top.
That's a
But
nice. That's
yeah,
what I'm waiting for. Let's see if it goes now.
look at that. Look on NQ. Look how they just sold and look how they cleared the order book to the top side. That's a genuine sell event right there. So that's kind of what we're looking for. Normally you don't bounce when you see that kind of a void above it. You normally start selling pretty hard. So that's what we're looking for. So the new market atlas that Nathan is like become an instrumental part of putting together, which is amazing. Hey, don't let him forget that we need this though. This guy.
The what?
We got to have the imbalance indicator.
Oh yeah. Well, I don't
It's
think
a
they're gonna.
really easy indicator to build, I would think, to build, but it's so it may, I mean, you barely need this if you have this.
It'll
You
be
know,
coming out, and then they'll be
just
adding
don't let him
stuff to it,
forget.
but it'll just get out of there and then come in when they add some other things.
So Throne, that is actually kind of true. Actually, he was saying 95% of traders lose, but it's not quite true the way you think it. Some people think it's true, right? So I forget the exact stats. So I'm gonna obviously 95% of all statistics are made up on the spot. I'm gonna kind of say this in like the spirit of this as I know it, but I could probably research and pull the real stats for you maybe for a future episode. So basically, that stat of 95% you're talking about is true, but it's within 1 year of starting trading. So of traders who start trading, for those traders, 95% of those who attempt to begin trading will stop trading within 1 year. Right? So that leaves only 5%. So think about how high the turnover rate is within these statistics, right? There's a lot of new people, and I've seen this in the Bear Bull Traders community quite a while. Like I have really close friends that I've made over the past 8 or 9 years. So but it's maybe 120 people or 150 people, right, that I've known for like 3 or 4 years. Everyone else, it's like every year, you know what I mean? The community probably cycles half the members. Now I think Bear Bull Traders runs a much higher than the average, right? Because you're talking about 95% of all traders, right? But I think BBT within that community, I don't think it runs at 95% for the first year. I bet it's probably something more around 70 or 75% make it through the first year. You know what I mean? Because I know a lot of people at BBT that have been around for longer than 1 year. But now, interestingly enough, of that remaining 5%, right, only about I think it was like 70% of that remaining, which drops you down to, it's something like 3% of the total. By the time you get all the way down, it's only like 1% of the total people who start trading actually make it past 5 years. But of those 1% that make it past 5 years, it's something like 70 to 80% of them stay involved with the market. Like they don't actually quit. They don't get burned out. They don't stop. They don't lose all their money. Maybe they don't make a lot of money, right? Because of that 1%, only something like 0.09 or something like that, or 0.1% of that percent actually become like, what you would call like a 7-figure, you know what I mean, earner or something like that, right? Like a very insanely small population of the stock trading world is going to end up, making, like being an Andrew, for instance, and making millions of dollars. Right. So, but there's a chance you could still do supplemental income. Could you make 90,000 a year, $100,000 a year? Sure. I think that's very obtainable. But are you going to be one of those people who make, 2 million, 3 million, 5 million? Maybe. You know what I mean? But it takes a lot of time, right? I'm making more money today than I've made before. Well, I've been in the market for the better part of a decade now. Right. So this helps me out. I've seen a lot of trades. I'm very comfortable with loss. I don't make very many mistakes anymore. When I do make mistakes, I'm kind of comfortable with them and I can tolerate it. You know what I mean? So it's kind of a thing, Also, most lack risk management. That's what. Yep, agree. Throne. Most people who don't survive the first year, they don't survive because they put money in the market. No one in their first year should be exposing your actual capital to the market. At least in my humble opinion. I should have waited longer before I went live. I went live after about 7 months. It was too early. That's why I blew up my first account. You know what I mean? I just wasn't ready. I should have waited longer. I had to be humbled by the market, and a little bit of the Dunning-Kruger effect took place there. I was very successful in sim trading because of the lack of risk in sim trading, right? I could bag hold in sim trading. I could take more stops and do all these things because there was no real money, no real consequence. Andrew talked about this right before coming on by using things like funded accounts, at least, to like maybe add some skin into the game so you get a little experience in that. Right? Because if you go live with your real money, it's like learning how to drive a car on a simulator and then just going out in rush hour traffic with a bunch of people that are in a rush to get somewhere. You know what I mean? You're gonna get in a car wreck. You know what I mean? So it's like, and there's nothing, you know what I mean? So don't do that. You know, it's just dumb. Like take the time, actually learn. Then once you go to learn small in a controlled environment so that you don't like hurt your account until you've proven to yourself you're capable. Looks like we're going to sell some more on the NQ for the record in a second. We're leaving that void to the top side, and we are definitely tiering more orders back towards 23,550. So right now we look like a fairly, what did you see? You were seeing something on options, Nathan. You were saying we're in an area where you're seeing like a lot of premium or something.
We had just a lot of open interest up here, you know, for SPX around 64, 75, 6,500. And once we get into those areas, it's hard to break through them without a lot of volume. So I was reading that exhaustion and looking to fade off that area.
We got your account, your screen's up right now, Nathan. I don't know if you're able to show what you're talking about there.
So this area up here.
Here we go. Yeah, get that. So this is the Spot Gamma platform. We're gonna have them back on next month. So everyone. So this is Spot Gamma, which is the platform Nathan uses to look for open interest and options transactional action.
Let's see. I want to see if we're still in that selling. See, we're getting into that selling pressure up here. We've ticked into it. So I'm looking for a fade down here. What would that be on ES? It would be around, I got my order in. So I'm looking.
I really need to get me a copy of this thing. I just haven't gotten around to
64, 55, 50 areas where I'm looking for that fade.
So Gator on Monday. Nathan, would you be willing on Monday maybe to do like 5 or 10 minutes on Spot yourself?
Yeah,
just
absolutely.
Kind of explaining how you use it.
Yeah,
Gator, everybody in here, are we cool with that on Monday? I just saw a peak in interest from a couple. Are we okay with on Monday? Nathan will take like maybe like 10 minutes or so and 15 minutes maybe and just really rip into Spot Gamma so you can see how he uses it. Kind of get you in on the lingo a little bit.
16.
Cool. So, all right, we'll do it. We'll do it Monday. Nathan, you're here? You're good for Monday?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. All right. We'll have Nathan here Monday. We'll spend like 15 minutes on Spot. No problem. All right. So we have 3 minutes before the end of the day, and Andrew ambushed me with a mentorship giveaway. And on Monday, Nathan, can I talk you into doing a mentorship hour giveaway on Monday?
Yeah, we can do that.
All right. So on Monday, we're going to give away an hour of Nathan's time after he presents a little bit on Spot Gamma for you guys. Right. So I'm going to give away an hour of mine right now because I got ambushed by Andrew. So for everyone who has it, do the hashtag mentor or mentoring. I forget, it was one of those. What was it, Peter? Was it mentoring? To the Lord. So,
yeah.
So
we can make it whatever you want. So you just
let's just go with mentor.
Mentor.
We'll just mentor.
That's what we did last time. Yeah.
So this is only available, unfortunately, because Andrew said so to members of Garbage Trucks and Lambo. So I am going to give you 1 minute while you start to put it in there. If you've been looking to get on the fence, it's like a cup of coffee. Get you in there. They got the multiply going on. So if you're a Garbage Trucks and Lambos member, I'm gonna give you just like 30 seconds here to get in there, and then we are going to do this. Whoever wins, send an email Thor@bearbulltraders.com. Also copy Andrew at bearbulltraders.com. All right, that way he knows we did the drawing, and he knows you were able to get in contact with me. Minthor, don't forget the R. Raul,
Oh,
get the
we
R on there.
liquidating? We might be liquidating.
We're selling, baby. Let's go. I'm gonna give Raul a chance to rewrite it with Minthor on there. All right, Aria, hold on, and then we'll get ready to do this. All right. All right. Raul got in there. Are we ready to do this thing?
Ready whenever you are. You just let me know.
Go for it.
Thank you for the anonymous donation to the Cancer Foundation. We appreciate that.
Thank you for the donation.
All right.
Go
Ready?
for it, Peter. Hit it.
Okay. Here we go. S-Quad. S-Quad. So how do they collect?
Ooh, congratulations. So email Thor@bearbulltraders.com and also copy Andrew at bearbulltraders.com on the email. That way, in case it doesn't get to me somehow, it definitely gets to him. And I will send you my calendar link, and you and I will do a 1-hour Google Meet together. We can go over anything you want with your trading. Otherwise, we can just talk. I mean, if you just need a friend for an hour and you just want to hang out and and just stare at each other. I mean, we can do whatever you want. I mean, we can make this weird. So I'm just so sorry. That was really bad. But anyway, thank you everybody so much for coming by the channel today. Much love. Nathan, thank you. Don't forget Monday, Nathan's back, Spot Gamma, and a mentoring slot with Nathan. Ooh,
Perfect. I'm excited.
Be excited. So we will see you all there. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Oh, shout out to our guy, Dan, again, man. Good job. Right, doing what you're supposed to do, brother. Next week, we're going to get it all back. We're going to start the process, all right, man? So let's do it together. Everyone, we will see you in here, and have a good one. Talk to you soon. Keep it green. Nathan.
See you guys.
See you, buddy.